One shall stand,
and one shall fall. Yeah. New kids on the block, we here making it pop. Don't care if you like it or not. This Bobby one is the top. The head nerds in charge and I foresee to making things happen. If you think you heard what you thought you heard, go ahead and play that thing back. Coming out the speakers in the car in the man cave. The mother bus is about to be knocked off the airwaves. So be very afraid. Better check your gameplay. Sitting on all that and finna take away your fan base. The stage is set. Better put respect up on our name. What you get right now, you get it later. A consistent game. A steady dosage. Once you started, you can't get enough. The people's chant ain't a topic we ain't finna touch. So bring your A game. Cause the boys behind the mic finna do the same thing. One time for the one time. Let it off like bang bang. We aiming to be the greatest. We accepting any challenge. With a snap of the finger, bringing balance. Let's make it happen. You tuned in to the place to be. You tuned in to HNIC.
Head nerds in charge.
You tuned in to the place to be. You tuned in to HNIC.
Forget about the way it used to be. This is not a damn democracy. We are in a state of emergency, and my word is law. There's only one boss in this place, and that's me. The HNIC.
What it do? We back on another Wednesday, 8 to 10 p.m. with the head nerds in charge. We brought some guests with us, and we about to get hot right into these topics. But I want to first introduce some of my favorite people on this earth, this existence. Sassy.
Oh.
You're not one of them. I'm just joking. Stop it. You know,
She's
she
one of my
being consoled.
I was so excited for her to see her because she would know what the heck I was doing.
Yeah.
I needed the validation.
Look, you saw the hope and joy in her eyes. No, Sass, go ahead on, introduce yourself to all the fans, the people who actually come to watch the show because of you.
Oh, thank you. Sassy Neko here, back at you on Wednesday as usual. I don't know if you guys seen my fan service picture that I put up. I'm trying to start dipping into that a little bit. You won't be getting too much like boob stuff, but you'll be.
So boob stuff is off the table.
At the moment, because boob stuff is off the
Because
table.
you put a real glossy, lipsticky lip.
That's okay.
That was all right.
And legs are okay.
It was kind of, it was, what do they say? It was tantalizing.
Yeah, in another way.
You was teasing them.
Yeah.
You ain't nothing but a
Sometimes if you
tease.
don't see the whole thing and you just see parts of things, that could be helpful too. So, fan service.
Imagine that. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong. That's like back in the day, the 1940s, they had to show a calf muscle.
Yeah, look at
That
them
calf muscle
ankles.
wouldn't do nothing.
You want what you can have?
Now, on the opposite flip to that scenario,
Yeah.
welcome one of our all-time, I can't even say friend to the show, she's like family to the show. Mandy, Cat, Katana, King Mandy, as I call her.
Yeah.
Welcome to the head. We finally got you down here.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, man. I've been wanting to hang out with you guys for a while, and I've been loving the show and like loving the nerd stuff. And I'm dressed as Mandy from.
Yo, if you don't know who her character is, which I didn't,
No,
she
I had to wait till I got to the show to get validation from Sassy.
Oh, don't be like that.
You know, no,
She came
'cause
out the
like,
house.
I was all excited.
I knew who you were.
I knew
Yo,
right
instantly.
away.
I love that show.
First of all, I am 37.
Okay.
The cartoons we watched, Doug, Rugrats, you ain't.
I looked
It
at
was
that.
almost there. It was almost there
I'm not that
too.
much younger than you, and I knew who she was.
Yeah, come on.
So this entire section has been fired. We're looking
Yeah,
for a
no.
new. Mandy, thank you for coming through. We're gonna
Thank you for
actually
having
get in deep about who you are,
Sure.
what you're about, and we're gonna get a little bit personal.
Yeah.
But not too personal.
No, we're getting personal.
Yeah, right. I overshare anyways.
Yeah,
Just look
see,
at my.
what? It's
Just look
Mandy.
at my stuff.
It's
See, I didn't say
no.
that.
I mean, look, we're not going to get into any thing like BDSM.
Well, your finger emotions wasn't really helpful in it, you know.
It's just because I'm notorious. That's all.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
I always tell her she's infamous and famous.
yeah, but I like it better though, because then like they're like, I know you, but I can't tell you why.
Like if your dad is with you at a con and he notices Mandy and he instantly blushes.
They have to like low key be like, can I have your autograph?
Yeah.
And be like Cash App.
Your dad has number one good taste and he's a pervert.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. That's where we keep it here, man.
No, it's not. It's yo. Let me tell you something. You can be a pervert with good taste. You got to say it with two syllables. Pervert. Yeah, you're a pervert.
You gotta make it fancy.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Fancy, like
it's
pervert.
It's
Fancy trash bag.
Right.
Like when you step up and you get the glad bags that have scents
Scents
like
on,
lavender or something.
Well, it's basically like potpourri on doo-doo. It still stinks. Like the trash stinks.
Covering up.
But now it's like
You get the odor block. You gotta get the odor block.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
So those are the pervert bags. Bags. Exactly. It's got a certain taste. And to the left of Mandy for the third week in a row, it's almost like she's becoming a regular on the show. I don't know. We might have to see if you can keep her to stick around. Why don't you introduce yourself to everybody?
Hey everybody, it's at Teffy Wonder here, the Lone Wonder Clone, hanging out again with the head nerds in charge. Can't get rid of me now.
Yes, we can.
First of all, I got my girl squad here.
That's right. No, dude,
So,
seriously.
no, you
Ladies
can't.
for ladies.
The ring.
Oh, yeah.
So we're clear. Fans of the show, we listened. You said it was a sausage fest every episode. So I did the best I could to find the most eloquent, sophisticated, beautiful women on earth to come in. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it, so we got these three. And
I've been called worse.
And we're happy.
Says
You know,
the trash bag.
yo,
Right.
Black, I'm a pervert. And another friend of mine who likes to crack jokes just as much as I do. Instagram is popping right now with this brother's content. Legitimately, he's actually funny. Unlike a lot of y'all.
Got jokes, I like it.
Like a lot of y'all aren't funny. But if you
Least of all you.
well, I try not to be, but you know, I'll crack a joke or two. If you want to make it that kind of show, I
He's
got
like
it
being
all
like a
day.
podcast troll right now. He's like, you suck, you alright, but you alright.
No, because you know what my angst for you is because of what you did to me in Mortal Kombat. I haven't lived that down.
Oh, well, dude,
And you talk about it every single time we on
dude,
camera.
I skull effed you guys so much. There was 16 times that I actually passed the controller to y'all to like do your own fatalities because I couldn't be bothered.
I'm gonna finish introducing Riz, but I just want to just say this real quick. Went over our house. We wanted to run, play video games. Soul Calibur, you were getting that work. Mortal Kombat, she puts on. I never played Mortal Kombat. I wasn't hip. Not the new one, not 11,
Yeah,
but
but
10.
what was Mark's excuse?
Oh, no,
like
he's
that's
trash.
his
Yeah,
lane.
yeah. No,
Like,
you were a
that's his
beast.
lane.
You were a beast. And the sad part
You're
is,
only one-
number one, she talks trash. Like any boy from the block,
Okay.
and like black people.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for that out of Mandy.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to be like, look, nigga. I'm like,
You do the move called the unbirth, where I literally uncreate you. Yeah.
All right, see,
Is that cool?
this
Is that okay?
That's
Can I say unbirth?
You
Oh
can
no,
say it.
oh no, I'm purpose. No, I was just salty. That was my salty thing.
So I guess we'll have
Tears.
to see. We'll have to see what it really is later when we play Beat the Blurred.
Ooh, what's that?
Oh,
Since you got the two of us here now, I really don't want you to cry on camera, but also I'm gonna need like a
We'll
back.
drink those boy tears. We'll drink those boy tears.
Yes.
I don't know, Don. If you get the game up,
Salty
if you get the
patriarchy
questions
tears.
ready, then we'll play Beat the Blur. It's up to Don to go ahead on. The producer's supposed to be on his job. Yeah, it is. Oh, look, here go.
No, he wiped the floor with me at that. What is it? What's that one little gamer place you guys go to?
These are about to be the
No,
hardest
that's
questions.
You ain't know that because Don's extra.
Oh,
with
dude,
you.
no, dude. Like,
We're on
I didn't even
Sandor.
accept him on my PlayStation 4 friends because I'm like, yo,
Get out of here. But
Salty.
for everybody that's out there, my
Bitter.
man Riz is in the building
Nah,
with us today.
good.
He's sitting tight with the head nurse in charge. He's coming with the funny. And if you
for
can,
having
tell
me.
him a little bit about yourself, brother.
Actor, writer, sketch comedian. I do more than Instagram too.
Give me your platform.
Definitely do more. See, I started off on YouTube, man. So I've been on World Star. I got some short movies on there.
But for different reasons, I'm almost positive.
put it on my resume.
All valid though.
I put it
All
on my
goes on
resume.
resume.
Yeah, so like I'm a creative.
I got you.
Yeah.
The Instagram thing is new, and I can do it, but I don't want to be put in a box though.
Listen, never put baby in a
Unless
box.
it's a hot box.
Unless it's a hot box. You're right. Yes.
Exposing myself.
They're talking about a sauna, and I feel like we might need to hit the spa up after the show. So
I mean, I'll meet you guys after here at 420.
Listen, we got a heck of a show for you. A lot of stuff came out for E3. We got a couple movie reviews. We're going to talk about a bunch of different things. First and foremost, let's break down some of these hot topics. Apparently, there's going to be another Batman series coming out. They just had Gotham finish its run, but now they have run out of all ideas, and they're going to give Alfred his own TV show.
You don't want to see Alfred?
Do we really need an Alfred? Okay, I agree with you.
Young Alfred.
Is Alfred going to be played by a young Asian man?
No, see, that's your.
All right, then.
That's your
Remind me.
kink.
I'm good.
Now I saw
Fetish.
they had somebody that wanted to do in a new Batman movie. You know, the guy from Twilight is playing in
Oh,
Batman.
the glitter guy.
Yeah. Apparently, in that trilogy that he signed on for, they want to make Alfred a woman.
Oh, that's cool. That'll be fitting. No, that'll be
cool?
fitting because he's way too like pretty. Like the guy is like known for being like basically glitter.
Pretty boy, yeah.
Like, and if you have a girl that counters it, maybe like a butch, like or like I don't know.
I forget the woman that they kind of showed a picture of her. I don't know. Did they have the picture of her? No.
Right
awesome.
on.
For everybody that's on there, you can see it. Yeah, I mean, it's a young Alfred, him being in the Secret Service, and you asked a really good question. Do I want to see it? Yes. Do I have to see it? No, because look at all the other Can we get off of Batman's nuts?
Yeah,
Not when we talking DC, no.
Wait a minute. But why do you feel? But Sass, I know why I feel like that. Why do you feel like that?
Because I never liked Batman, and I always say it for the same reasons. Because he's a rich vigilante, he can't fly. Like Superman.
His powers are privilege.
His
money.
power is privilege, yeah.
But I mean,
So why are we?
And he hangs out his whole day with like teenage boys with like broken families. Like that's kind of weird.
yeah, that is
Like,
super weird.
Is he Catholic?
He's a
And then he
pervert.
puts something on his way too.
Well, go ahead, Riz. What you about to
He
say?
was a teenage boy with a broken family.
Yeah, well,
so-
I don't hang around with broken. Well, no,
Well, my daddy left, but he ain't leave me no money like he left Bruce.
Yeah.
Listen, if that ain't privilege, where you be like, I'm rich enough that I'm going to go stop evil.
Exactly.
No. When my daddy left, it was, no, nigga, go bring in some money.
Do you think
for
that
these
Batman
bills.
buys his technology from Wakanda? Do you think that Batman buys his technology from Wakanda?
He has to.
Dude, are
He
they
has to.
are they
They
the same
appropriate
universe?
everything else. But wait, no, who's the black equivalent of Black Panther in DC? Like Bronze Tiger. But then, who's the rich black people? Hey, Don, let's ask the producer. Don, who's the rich black guy in DC?
There's three of them.
One's Icon.
No, Icon was off an independent label, but it was so good, DC picked him up.
Okay, so give me
So it's basically DC Universe completely. It's Mr. Terrific,
Mr. Terrific. Yeah,
Mr. Terrific, and Black Batman, which is Batman. He's the one that made his own. Basically, after Batman went kaput for a while, Africa basically worked with Wayne Corporation to make a Batman Incorporated. So they put a Batman in every country to protect their cities.
Didn't that?
See, folks, whenever there's a geek
Wow.
question to be answered, ask
No,
Don.
and I learned a lot.
Yeah.
I heard that the Green Lantern, they can't even protect Gotham because they don't have Batman's permission.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, right? Was that a thing?
Yeah, because he definitely told Superman to raise up out of Gotham once. Like Superman went in to help. He was like, "Stay out of my city."
He was like, go back across the bay to Metropolis.
He was like, "Don't make me
No,
build
you're
that
afraid
wall."
of the competition.
Black Lightning, he just wouldn't go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Superman just wouldn't go to Suicide Slums. He was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, who needs to go there?
Yo, Black
Who needs to go
Lightning
where
is
they're not
definitely my
wanted?
guy. See, I feel bad, Don. I forgot to introduce you to the people. As always, on the steel, the wheels of steels on the ones and twos. Our engineer for the night, Don the Magic Wand.
Yeah, man.
Everybody, give a round of applause if you're sitting at home.
Y'all guys are sounding great, looking great.
We are. I can't give Don too many kudos. He start feeling himself.
Can I interject here though? Why are we getting Pennyworth when, first of all, Swamp Thing looked way more promising and way more original than this stupid thing, and they killed it after.
Stay out my swamp.
No, so I don't like that at all. And then I was like, why are we getting these same tired stories over again, but we can't get like Zatanna, what's the other girl?
Well, Zatanna has been, first of all, if you ever
She's
saw
like
JLA,
I want to see Lady Slay. Madam Slay. Madam Slay.
Thank you.
No, they're doing it. JLA Dark is going to be a show.
yeah, that's like Constantine, Zatanna, all the
Right. I was like, bring Constantine back because it was actually good. They brought him over to DC
Constantine
Legends.
was actually one of the few DC movies that was solid.
Yeah.
Well, with
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves.
I was making sure that was the right one.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves is so hot right now. He's always been hot. Oh my God.
Keanu Reeves is on fire after John Wick, Cyberpunk. All right, we getting ahead of ourselves.
All right.
But so Pennyworth is a no for me.
I'm not sold on a Pennyworth. Do you need to see Pennyworth?
I don't even know what it is.
Exactly. And we already know me and Sassy's ass.
If I never saw another DC character movie, I would be okay.
Yeah, same here.
That's
same
that's
here. I
too
agree with
There's
you.
so many.
So this is a TV series, not a movie. So
It's streaming service.
okay. Well, still.
I believed that way until I saw Aquaman. And then I was like,
I still haven't seen
there's
it.
some promise left.
And he
got a long way to go. And Shazam, did you get the chance to see Shazam?
I didn't see Shazam.
All right, now, they got 2 wins. I can tell you that right now, back to back. Aquaman and Shazam, solid.
You want to know something crazy? You know what steered me away from Aquaman? Like, why I didn't watch it? Because Entourage. You remember when Benny did Aquaman and it was terrible?
Yeah.
So I felt like
there's no way they're gonna do this right.
No way.
No, I wanted to stay away from Aquaman because you can't take a date to see that movie.
Oh yeah,
because seeing Jason Momoa and then she turns and looks at you.
But that's like foreplay.
Why you look at wait?
They
Why you
already
look at
went.
me when you said
The whole
that?
thing.
Well, I mean, I wasn't gonna look at Mandy.
No, see that look of disgust that she said when she turned and looked at me.
Oh, yeah,
you look at Jason Momoa for 2 hours and then you're like, "Hello, Charles."
Sitting down, I got good profiles. I got good shoulders.
Listen. That's how. Listen. If I can.
That just sounds like your insecurity coming through. Come on.
Yeah, no, for sure. Oh, I'm a hater. I got a problem with that. Listen, all I gotta do is lose 200 pounds, grow hair, become attractive, marginally rich.
You said become attractive.
Well, now you know what to do.
If you get marginally rich, you can forget all the other stuff
Realistic
above
expectation.
it.
It doesn't matter the work is you rich.
Just get rich.
Right.
Get rich is probably
That's
first
the
and
one-step
foremost.
plan. You don't have to do that much. You rich now.
Well, good.
So can we just like take over like Batman? Like just we'll pretend to be Batman?
I put it like this.
And
I
walk
know
around
who
and
Bruce
be like, put
Wayne
it on our
is.
tab.
We know Batman's secret identity. Don't get it twisted. If my heat start working, then my heat start working.
I'm gonna rob me a person.
Every
I'm
Philadelphia
saying,
knows the rest of that lyric.
I know, right? That's the end.
Next up in news, I really feel some type of way about this. And here's why. Tired of people taking our childhood and reappropriating it for a new generation, but not doing it well. So I'm giving this a chance. Chip and Dale will be debuting another reboot on Disney Plus. Now, the original art should be coming up for the cartoon. It's not the Rescue Rangers.
Yeah, that's
So
what
it's
say Rescue Rangers and everybody be on.
Oh,
so
no,
is it just Chip and Dale, like goofing off?
But the thing
They
is,
look
so
like
it's not gonna ever like accommodate what your past was because things are different every generation, and you gotta understand it. Just don't look at it.
Don't
How
touch
about
it.
you just don't look at it though? I don't understand that.
No,
Like,
no.
what's
I don't
the
trust
part?
anybody that likes Tyler the Creator.
Oh God! So you're trying to come at Tyler now? That's who not you trying to come at?
Just
We
a
don't
whole
do
bunch
that
of
in
jelly
this
over
house.
there.
Yo, I have
Yes,
to be
ma'am.
honest, I'm a Tyler fan.
Likewise.
I only say that to get her good.
The real ones know.
Yeah, look, anytime we talk about anything hip hop, we're like, Tyler the Creator sucks. She be like, fight me, Negro. She don't play that.
He like me in rap form. Like he doing his own little different thing. It's not like everybody else's, but it's his own individuality, and it blossomed and turned into several different things.
I was kidding.
Isn't he dating like Jaden Smith?
Better been.
Yes, ma'am. No, I don't know if he's dating. And
He's not dating him
Yes.
as far as we know. That was a joke that was being made.
I think they'd make
They
a
keep
cute
saying it.
couple.
They keep
They'd
saying
make
it.
a cute couple though.
I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure he smashed.
But I have something nice to comment on these cartoons.
Go ahead.
Like cartoons have like saved me from my own troubled childhood. Cartoons were my life.
Yeah, facts.
And
that was my baby.
As a artist, I find that the new styles of cartoons have been dumb. Like they're dumbing down. They look retarded. Like they're not like. It's fun to have retarded. Kind of like like Ren and Stimpy,
right?
But like they're looking dumb, and the art itself isn't like
goofy, it's
goofy.
So,
it's not real cool art anymore.
So I have a commentary on that. I find that cartoons. So not that I like them or that I'm defending them in any way, but I find that cartoons are more goofy because in a way, children grow up almost too fast nowadays. Like the stuff that they're exposed to online and in their everyday lives, kids mature way faster than we did. So I feel like making the cartoons goofy or like dumbing them down.
They're dumbing them down.
But that's the way to help keep them young and
dumber.
Foster their not dumber, but that fosters their own like
innocence.
Creative. They're not just help protect their innocence, but to foster their creativity because kids nowadays aren't imaginative. They just want you to do whatever it is for them. Why don't you go out and make up your own game? Well, why I gotta make up my game where I got like these 50 games I downloaded online I can play, I don't have to think. But in this way, like that helps foster that for them.
I disagree. I think that when I see an immaculate piece of art and a creation that's just super amazing, I want to aspire to be that, not dumb myself down to just keep myself in this safe little PC bubble. No, I want to aspire to be greater than the greatest thing I've ever seen.
I'll say this. I only use references. So, what was it? Johnny Storm? What was it? Johnny Robert?
Quest?
Johnny Quest. No. Johnny Quest. At the time, now mind you, I'm older. At that time, that was like art. Like the way they were drawn real life, and they were supposed to resemble regular people. Whereas when we were watching Transformers and Voltron and Thundercat, that's what I'm saying. We were more used to anamorphic or human-based art style.
Exactly. Oh, that's harder.
But now, mind you, I say that there's a space. There's basically a space for all of it because though those were strong art styles, we still had Heathcliff, we still had Garfield, we still had Tweety Bird. Now, mind you, these are more so updated graphics.
Yeah.
Because this is the.
And that's exactly what I was about to bring up. Is that another thing? Yeah, even within like anime workings, it's like a lot different because now you have before in like the 90s and whatnot.
Like Ninja Scroll looks a lot different than
this was
than
all
Attack on Titan.
hand-drawn, but the part that and I missed that, but then I had to understand too that on their end, like that's a lot of work. Like that's hours and hours of people's lives being spent in the studio.
But see, no, it's funny. To Sassy's point, do you know for the longest time why a lot of cartoon characters only have 3 fingers?
Have you ever tried to draw hands, bro?
Exactly.
Yeah, hands are hard.
That's like the things that we took for granted.
Show you these hands.
They was like, yo, I'm not even trying to put these extra fingers on this jump. He got 3 fingers.
Just keep some of them like
high 3
to a minimum because I struggle.
Dragon Ball Z, you know why they have yellow hair for Super Saiyan? They didn't want to do details. So on the manga, they said just draw it solid.
Yeah,
but when they did the cartoon, they had to make it a color. So Toriyama was like, yellow, whatever.
But see,
and he even forgot that they had tails.
Yeah.
And it's a balance between production cost and look. And I'm with Tef where I don't mind. I don't have a problem with how it looks. But I also feel like you gotta have both. Yeah. Because that way, for the kids that want something like me,
you'll end up with Sonic.
Right. Oh God.
See, you'll end up with Sonic without the standard.
Actually, that's a really good idea because remember back in the 90s there were 2 Sonic series. One was kiddie and one was more serious.
Oh yeah, I like Sonic X more than I like the other one though.
But see, that's the thing. I didn't like the kiddie Sonic. Like that was
the one with the chili cheese dogs.
Yeah, the chili cheese dogs. Yes, and Tails and them always. I know, and Urkel's was saving grace, but I like the darker because I was the kid that liked Conan the Barbarian, Mad Max, and I like the serious cartoons. I was watching Ronin Warriors growing up.
Gargoyles.
Manny, perfect. Yeah, exactly. Like gargoyles could have been silly. They could have made it silly because
that'll be next though.
It transitions, so it depends on the age bracket too. Because when I was like little, I didn't like stuff like you mentioned Johnny Quest and Thundercats and whatnot. I didn't like that stuff because of the way that it looked, that it was too realistic and serious. And I wanted stuff like Powerpuff Girls and Dexter and things that looked at like
and see the difference.
Colorful and kitty and shit.
Now, real quick, we're doing a chat check-in real quick. We got Amber Rose. She said new cartoon styles kind of womp. So, everybody has that certain feeling. Stephanie, Steph said hands are the hardest to draw. So I guess she's telling from experience. My man Lex, big fan of the show, always commenting, much love, bro. He said, nah, Kitty Sonic was hilarious. And it felt like more like the video game.
Yeah,
I agree with that there. I agree with that there.
He did like the little loop-to-loops and stuff.
Right.
That was funny.
Because even within the same cartoons, you can see a difference. Remember, Mario Brothers used to do Mario Brothers?
That Super Show was on the chain.
Right, but they also used to do Zelda.
So that was really good too.
Zelda was the more serious one, where Mario Brothers was the more kiddie one. And you can have both.
Americans did the animation for Mario, and they actually took from Japanese episodes. They did like a little series. Japan did Legend of Zelda. America actually did Mario.
Don always dropped like footnote stuff that no other people on earth.
He the behind the scenes part said we want a DVD. We want to know
where's my keys.
Yo, Don will do all our DVD commentary.
Yeah. So in this scene, this was the part where Kurt was dealing with the bubble guts at the moment. So his face is all balled up like that.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Wait. I thought we said we weren't going to talk about that again. See, this is why you put my business out on the radio. That's what you do. You talk. I'm just saying. Because this is what's going to go viral.
You deserve it.
So you had the bubble guts on your
just so they know, just so everybody know, we're in an enclosed space, and if I have the bubble guts, I'm just gonna let it rip. That's right. I will make your eyelashes fall off.
No.
Bring that heat.
Oh yeah, we have more places to make noise out of. So.
Bum.
I will crop dust you, bro.
Please don't creep me, bro.
I'll fight you if you.
Can we say creep?
Yeah, don't cut. Yeah,
I don't like that shit.
I think that's a fight. That's on site.
Yeah.
You crop dust and then bug out of here. Like if somebody just get up randomly, you're talking, you're like, oh no.
No, then you lock the door.
See, we start talking about.
Don't lock the door.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys this story later. Man.
See how they do us.
See how mature we are.
Chippendale, I'll put it like this. If you were going to bring back Chippendale, you should have brought back Chippendale's Rescue Rangers, which was one of the best cartoons that Disney ever put out, aside from Darkwing Duck and DuckTales. Now,
I love Darkwing
Gadget.
Now, if you like Darkwing Duck, have you watched the new DuckTales? See, they rebooted it. It's hold on, it's not. No, the new one is really good. Well, I guess it's preference, but Darkwing Duck's in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Season 2. So I don't want to ruin it for nobody, but let me tell you something. They done built out this DuckTales world. You get a chance, go check it out. My Little Pony popping on Netflix too.
Remember Duckman?
Huh?
Remember Duckman?
Of course I remember Duckman. Come on,
I'm
bro.
still not getting over.
Yo, they should definitely bring. Well, see, Duckman was good because that was on TBS, USA. With Bernice and that was his girl, his sister. I forget what it was because that was an adult cartoon.
Yeah, well, I'm just looking forward to Rick and Morty coming back this fall.
Oh
yeah, because I mean I love cartoons, and I'm like she was saying, their cartoons were meant for children originally, but I got your point. But like I love cartoons as an adult, and my humor has changed, my mentality has changed. So I want to see some drunk ass cartoons drawn together.
Yeah, but Chip and Dale is not for
Yes,
you.
you're right. Exactly.
But they can do adult scenarios. Like Doug was for kids, but Doug touched on recess.
Adventure Time is like that too.
Adventure Time. And I've seen some really like cartoons that'd be like really super silly. I'm like, that was an adult joke. Like, like so it makes me question exactly what's going on, good brother. That's right. Look, people just come in, chill. They sit on the couch, crash, show love.
Rub your back.
Look.
You said,
Wait, he was like, are you inviting? All right, okay.
I mean,
Hey, look, don't be careful. Rub that wife on the shoulder.
I consent.
Listen, we just watched when they see us. We did a whole show on it. No, I'm joking. So, I mean, Disney Plus, we'll give it a chance, but we're still not happy. At least I'm not happy.
Maybe we should outgrown it. Like she said, it's not for us anymore.
I mean, that's different because I have a child, so I'll be like, yeah, this is fine. And then also, you have to be open to that, giving it a chance. Because, like, when my mom was watching Doug and Rugrats with us, she was like, the hell is this? But then when she watched it with us, Ren and Stimpy was a hard no.
Okay, which Ren and Stimpy? Because there's Nickelodeon Ren and Stimpy, and then there was MTV's Ren and Stimpy.
So when it got kicked off Nickelodeon and they got picked up by MTV, was when it was like,
MTV is when he was putting the song on the log where it was hanging off his behind.
This one Nickelodeon too?
But even on Nickelodeon, it had some weird undertones. Like, when you was looking at it enough, you'd be like, what the whole time squinting, you side-eyed.
But she's right, though. If you have children, your perspective changes. Like, I have an Airbnb that I run here in Philadelphia, and, like, I don't allow kids at my house. Though when you look at it, it looks very cartoony, very colorful. Like you are not, like, no, we allow pets, but no kids. Because it's not meant for kids. Though it is colorful and fun. And it's just not for you. If something's not for you, it's not for you. So stop getting all mad about stuff that's not for you. Go look for what's for you.
Yeah. I had to have.
Listen, if I'm paying for Disney Plus, it's for me.
Well, you shouldn't be paying for Disney Plus.
You ruining the thing that was mine. Give it back.
There's gonna be plenty of other stuff on Disney Plus for you.
Okay.
Right, you princess.
I feel better now.
Right.
So aside from Disney Plus, unfortunately, all the rights didn't go to Marvel in time, and they decided to go forward with Dark Phoenix and make another X-Men movie.
Sansa, don't do this to us, Sansa.
I'll put it like this: Tap, this is your time to shine because did you go see Dark Phoenix? No. Okay.
So am I the only one who's seen
Manny,
it?
did you go see Dark Phoenix? Sass?
One of my close friends that I trust their judgment with movies all the time, shout out to John, and his movie reviews, and he said it was booty, so.
That's a good friend.
I put it like this: game of booty all the way through with Dark Phoenix because I wasn't going to spend my hard-earned money on that garbage.
Well, you know how she got even when she got the Game of Thrones, like it was between her and another actress, another ginger actress, and because she had more followers, she got the job because of it. And I watched one of her things, about that, and that's really sad. Like I know we all have to do our followers, our feeds, or stuff like that, but talent, man, and then the expression is not what it is. It's just looks and likes and not what you are.
No, have you watched Game of Thrones? I don't think she's untalented.
No, I don't think she's untalented either, but that's how she got it.
I feel as though anyone in the cast was like untalented. I think that the direction.
Not with Michael Fassbender in there. I mean.
So, yeah, but again, he wasn't exactly about the same.
I don't know who he is.
You're right.
Magneto.
Okay.
That's all right. Go ahead. So
I'm just not an X-Men person anyway, so if that's biased.
You don't like Batman. You don't like the X-Men. Anime and video games.
I tried to get in the comic book world for y'all, for my fans.
Oh, thank you.
I love you.
See the love.
And I want to keep up with you, but I'm anime, video game girl predominantly.
Yeah.
Super facts.
Anime. Your dad was so cute.
All right. So all right. Give us a quick breakdown. Should the people go spend their money to see Dark Phoenix?
I did not pay my money to go see it, so I'm not going to tell you to spend your money on it.
So what are your thoughts?
So, okay. Can I spoil it or?
No, I mean,
it seems like it's already been spoiled.
Yeah. So
it was spoiled when they dropped it.
Right. So the first 10 minutes in, I was like, "What are you doing? Why are we doing this? Like, who are these people and why are we doing this?" I felt as though a lot of the characters kind of fell flat. Because I was like, and what made me mad was, I was like, you didn't put all that extra effort into the story, so why not let the characters actually have their moment to shine? The only people who put in the most work, I would say, James McAvoy could act his ass off. Like, that part where Jean made him get up out the chair and walk his puppet ass up the steps, I was about dead. I was like, no, girl, no! But that was, like, one of the highlights for me. The movie... It didn't drag, but also I kind of felt like I was waiting for it to pop off. So the pacing was kind of alright, but the story itself, like the way they were telling it, just wasn't good. They introduced the whole Phoenix arc in the last movie, but then they don't continue on that at all. Like she actually gets this Phoenix Force from space.
Yeah, I heard
which
that's
I was like, wait,
but she already exhibited Phoenix Force powers.
Right. So I was like, you can't have it like both ways. And then these weird aliens come out of nowhere and they're tracking it down, but they want to use it and also destroy it.
Was it the Shi'ar?
No. They're
so
not
wait,
named.
It wasn't even a Shi'ar?
No, and they're not named. You don't actually know who they are or where they come from.
You can't tell the Phoenix Saga without talking about Imran Crystals, the Shi'ar. You can't the Phoenix Force and what it was, and it's a whole separate entity.
We don't even talk about any of it. You don't get to hear like it speaks to her and all of this stuff. It doesn't do any of that in the movie.
Gotcha.
It was just
it's like a terrible girlfriend.
Left on red.
I love that. We've all been there. Before.
Left on red till we're hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the best part of the movie for me was at the very end, the train scene. And Hassan actually just said that. He's like, the train scene is a whole good part. So that, and I agree with that. The best part of the movie was the train scene where you actually got to see like Hank and Nightcrawler, who tend to be the most soft-spoken out of the X-Men. They went on full beast mode. They was beating ass left, right, and center. I was here for it. So I was like, okay. And then Jean kind of did her like disintegration thing because I was like, wow, she was really like much more gangster like back in the early 2000s. But then it kind of came out, and even when she did finally do it, it was still a letdown.
See,
that sounds good.
I'll put it like this: I gave up on the franchise when they came out with X-Men 3, X3. I was already done, and that was a steaming pie. I remember standing on the seats of the theater and booing the loudest, like downright Negro behavior. And then when they came out with Apocalypse, like First Class was decent. Yeah.
So I felt some type of way about First Class. I was like, I'm not really here for like how they revamped it or restarted it. I did like Days of Future Past.
I was cool with that, but once they got to Apocalypse,
when they got to Apocalypse, it fell way back on hard.
MCU, I'm glad you got the X-Men back, and hopefully there'll be no more garbage movies. They should have never really released it.
That's my question.
What?
Do you think that X-Men suffers because it's Disney and it's not Marvel?
Because Marvel is Disney.
It's Fox.
You talking about Fox?
Yeah, being as though it's not like with the rest of the MCU.
Fox has ruined everything. Fantastic Four, trash. Green Lantern, trash.
Yeah, no.
X-Men, triple trash. The only thing they done good was Deadpool.
Yeah.
And we know why.
That's only because Ryan Reynolds.
And Ryan Reynolds killed himself in there.
Right.
Yeah.
So Ryan did the whole thing for him, like, just give me money and I'll make you money.
Right.
That's it.
And
But
just let Ryan be
that's a
Ryan.
real talented person. When you get some like real quality people in there that really believe and that really give their whole heart into something, not the cash grab. I mean, even just Game of Thrones, going back to that, it was such a good I love that show. And then at the end, they wanted to get done with it, and they rushed it out.
So
and they called
that's
it
not necessarily true. The original outline for season 8 leaked online, and they had to halt production and rewrite it. So that's why we got the season 8 that we got.
I think that's a conspiracy. I don't believe that stuff.
Would I disappoint y'all if I told you I'd never seen an episode of Game of Thrones?
I was gonna rewatch it with my friend, like, cause I was like, cause it was towards the end. I was like, oh yeah, you gotta watch it. He's like, oh, I've never seen it. I was gonna rewatch it till the end.
No, I actually prefer when somebody says I've never seen it, because I'm like, bro, you're about to embark on. Like, I wish I could not have seen it, so that I could go see it again and see it all for the first time. Because I mean,
it's like whiskey dick. It's like you're all excited and it keeps going and going and going, and then you get nothing.
No payout.
Nothing. No payout. No nothing. You're just sitting there with blue balls and like your own shame for watching this whole thing.
I actually know exactly what she's talking about.
I'm just saying.
I got this thing, right? So most shows, when they get past season 4, 5, 6, it starts to lose their integrity.
So there's a reason for that too. It's because most of the time around season, like around this end of like beginning end of season 3, starting like to transition into season 4 is when they wrap up whatever the original storyline was. So now they're scrambling to come up with a new storyline that's just as good, that's going to hook viewers and keep it going. That's why it tends to take a little downturn, because they're almost like trying to reinvent the wheel, trying to keep people interested, trying to do that thing that got you to watch in the first place. And you
They
almost
usually end
cannot
up jumping the shark.
Exactly, you cannot recreate that magic. That's why a lot of shows tank like
Most
and
shows.
after.
Right.
Yeah.
Very few sitcoms can do multiple because those are self-contained stories over overarching arc.
Right.
Now, when you talk about movies are, you know, if you do a trilogy series, you could almost break a trilogy down into 30-minute segments and have a TV show. But when you talk about seasons, 4 or 5.
Yeah, people need to learn how to quit while they're ahead. Like, when
make
it's
it
good,
great.
Just let it be great, and it ends that way. Like,
there's nothing wrong with going out all the time.
Like I hated the end of Dexter.
Which one?
Dexter. I hated the
No,
last two
okay.
seasons.
Now hold on. Let me just say this. Don't you spoil that for me, because hold on. I had to say it quick.
Don't waste your time.
Don't say that.
My mom
I've already
said
up
that
to
too, though, and she was an avid.
Do you like it right now? Are you enjoying Dexter?
I mean, his sister almost corny.
All right, so stop.
No,
Stop right there. Stop right there. Leave it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's like finally pulling a badge on and finding out she got AIDS.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
All right, so okay. Breaking
She can stop
Bad.
getting kidnapped, too.
Breaking Bad. Everybody was like, "Kurt, you got to watch this." I could not get past season 3. And
It starts to lose the integrity too.
No, I can't watch that show because if you're from New Mexico, I don't need to watch a show that I've already lived. Sorry. Please.
Yeah. No, but the thing about Breaking Bad is it was widely acclaimed as being popular. Widely acclaimed as being popular. And the only problem with that is when everybody's bigging it up, and then you're the only one being critical of it. You're like.
I like that she's been defending all the things with like all her like, you know, what the script was and the actually.
She's
and
made her own Ghost and Show
like,
when
as a matter of
everybody bragged that and talked crap about the Ghost and Show movie, and I was like, but.
Yeah. See, I don't mind if you're the lone warrior defending something, but you got to explain to me what makes your opinion different than everybody else's. And if you like, look, some people might be like, look, I didn't mind the ending, and then those are usually the weirdos for Game of Thrones.
Dexter, you mean?
Yeah, Game of Thrones. But I mean, it could be the same thing for Dexter or anything else. But long story short, wrap stuff up. Don't go too long into the seasons. Wonder Woman 84. They debuted the Kingdom Come armor, and she looks Technicolor amazing.
84.
Let me tell you something. 84. The 80s was a good time.
84.
I was 2 years old in 84.
I don't know nothing about it.
Get out of here! You don't know nothing about no 84.
I don't know about 84.
Listen.
I was born in 86.
Oh, see. Yeah, me and Don, we the old ham bones in this one. 82 was a good year.
I was a kid with Linda Carter.
Yeah, I remember.
Make it into a thing,
I
but
definitely remember the original Linda Carter Wonder Woman and spinning around and changing. I put it like this: I'm just excited to see a heroine in a place of prominence in nerd culture. As far as Wonder Woman's always been a very popular character, but to see her be the flagship, because I genuinely feel like her movie was the turning point for DC movies. Batman vs Superman was trash. Superman, the Man of Steel was okay.
I liked Batman vs Superman.
Me too, but I know a lot of people.
And I actually, I'm a nude character on the internets, but I actually love that she has.
She said she a nude character on the internet.
Female nipple. No, I'm kidding. No, but I love that.
Hashtag free the nipples.
Free the nipples. Free the women. But like, I love that she's wearing more armor because like, if you're a warrior, you're gonna need. You don't want your midsection open so someone could stab you.
Yeah.
I'm a veteran of the United States Army. I'm on my armor, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because you remember how they always make those jokes when you do role playing games where they were like. The men have all this armor, but then the woman's like half
She's
naked.
in a leotard.
Arrows are flying over her head, and she's got a bikini top on with 100+ armor defense. Like, wait, what?
That's
that doesn't make any sense.
Tits are still.
Reflecting with areolas. Bing, 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 bing,
Oh my God.
bing, bing, bing.
That's why they're trying to outlaw them on the internet.
Facts. Gives all new meaning to brown sauces.
Oh,
Anywho,
man.
Mindy, what's her name? Mindy what?
Kaling.
Mindy, say it again?
Kaling.
Say it one more time.
Mindy Kaling.
Say it 3 times fast. No,
Don't
I'm
you
joking.
do that.
She is now in talks to play a quintessential role in Marvel. Yes, Kamala Khan, which is the first Muslim and what is it, Middle Eastern? The first Muslim and Middle Eastern superhero.
I like that.
Miss Marvel. Listen.
So that's who I was talking about like last week. I was like, wait, no, the Muslim chick. You were just like,
I was like, why you gotta say it like that though? Like, she went through the process of getting a shahada, all of that. You know the Muslim chick. You know and then get Philly with it. You know the John, the Muslim John, the Muslim John, the one that got the cell phone in the Kemar. You know. Stop it. Stop every sister out there. No disrespect, but y'all know y'all had Bluetooths before there was Bluetooths. Y'all just put the flip phone right in the Kemar. It was extra tight.
Oh yeah, I used to see that.
Headset. Ain't need no headsets in Philadelphia. Now you had a Kemar on.
Yeah, just slide it up.
Yeah.
I seen that all the time. That was cool.
That's how dudes started tightening their hoodies and doing that. We learned from y'all. So I mean, she's gonna play this amazing character, which is this particular version of Miss Marvel is actually new and part of the New Avengers, and it's Marvel's push for diversity and seeing more representation does matter, whether it be ethnic, gender roles, whatever it is. We're here for seeing number one, people of color.
Yes,
definitely.
And we've already like you remember one of the podcasts that you were talking about the Frozen, and you've already seen that movie. Like, I want to see something I've never seen before.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm about that because it's already been done. How many white Batmans we need? Give me an Asian Batman.
Actually, you know what? That's not now. See,
I've already seen it. We've all seen it. Let's see
everybody
something new just to
fanboys
see
that
something
though.
new.
Yeah.
Everybody gets upset. They did a black Human Torch. Nobody liked it.
I liked it.
Well, I mean, it was.
Who was the Black Human Torch?
That was my
Michael
boy.
B. Jordan.
Exactly.
Right.
Like on a side note,
I hate
they
Michael B.
changed
Jordan.
Wait, who they
Who
change?
was it? The Pokemon girl, the girl they've been showing from Pokemon that's black, and somebody just as usual, they have to ruin it. They put out a Photoshop version of her
And they're like, I
with
fixed
pale skin, and they're like, I fixed it. And it's just like, why can't you just leave it alone?
I
Like,
love
you
that.
have so many different characters in Pokemon that resemble you. Why do you have to go change when we get something?
Listen,
You can't have
and you know what the
nothing.
sad part is, and Sass, I'm not disagreeing with what you said at all.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I'm tired of us being in positions, and when I say us, I don't mean people of color per se. I'm talking about entertainment as a whole. We are so starved for representation that we'll latch on to almost anything as long as it's different and represents us, which is a gift and a curse because we'll latch on to bad things.
Yeah.
Like if your story sucks or if it's not a good character, we don't talk bad about it. Like, you don't talk about your cousins out in the streets.
Like Luke Cage.
We'll just be like,
So, it's okay.
Oh, wait, because I did a video of that on
Terrible
my
show.
No, I did a video of that on my YouTube channel. I was like, can we get better black villains? Like, why are the ambitions of black villains so small? Oh yeah, I'm gonna take over and run the neighborhood. Dog, for what? The world is so much bigger than
Listen,
Tobias.
No. Tobias is about world domination, but of course, Tobias looks like what?
He's albino.
All right, let's.
But that's representation too.
Let's get deep. No, because our albino brothers, listen, it is not a matter of pigment that makes you a minority.
Right.
But when you're casting, and they did.
Yeah.
I mean, the whale. That's what he was. He was an albino, so that's what they casted.
Well, I don't know. I think that the future right now has got to be us creating our own characters, our own content, our own. You know what I mean? Like if it doesn't exist, like I know because
you gotta do it.
I needed a world that worked for me, so I created my own, and now this universe that I've created works for me. So like we need to start out there actively creating these things. If you have a character in your head, put it out on paper. Go out and do the thing. Cast your homies.
Yes, this is
even if it's derpy with your phone, you can do it now.
But you see people who are no. That's
passionate.
Mandy's an ally. I love him. But no. You see it. What happened? What did Eddie Murphy got into a position where he had affluence and some say in Hollywood, and what did he do? He made the PJs. Remember that? Remember the PJs?
Exactly.
And it was about, now mind you, it was about the hood and it was claymation, but it was something that was kiddie that we could watch. What did Damon Wayans do?
He put his whole family on.
The Wayne heads.
Wayne was all that.
Wayne heads. Well, Keenan Ivory Wayans put his whole family on. But
then they had Living Color, the Wayans
Seabear
brothers,
and Jamal, remember that?
Right, the Proud Family.
Jim Carrey.
So when Fillmore, I'm just saying, there can be more representation, but you need major platforms to pick it up.
But even
Right
then,
now,
just start doing it. Just because then, so you don't know who you'll inspire that'll get there and be like, I seen it because somebody did it.
And support your friends.
Yes.
Don't support these celebrities who don't.
Speaking of supporting your friends, I just put a video out today.
Usually we give, but Riz, you don't say that. Give them the Instagram handles or whatever.
Yeah, at me at Riz Reese, RIZREESE. All right, and my Facebook is Rizman Reese, RIZMANREESE. All my content is there.
See,
so
and the same thing
your
for
friends,
men.
yo.
Because listen, let me tell you something. One thing about, for those that have watched the show, watched it come out from basically nothing to the first time that we had Sassy on, and we found we had a star in the making, and Sassy stuck around, and she deals with my bull crap to the point where we've built this audience and this friend and this community of people, and we got Don and Tef, and we are able to have these shows now regularly. This was born out of we didn't see what we wanted to watch in media. So whether we got to start wherever.
And then people get ashamed of like, well, we don't have the lights. Don't let that stop you.
Right.
Don't let that stop you. Like,
Well,
we live in a really blessed age where like, I never even had like a camera in my household when I was a kid. Not even a TV when they wouldn't steal it. But like, you know what I mean? Like you have access to do all the things. If you're creative enough, if you're passionate enough, nothing's gonna stop you.
Yes.
That's all you need, and then you can get better as you go. The
Instagram
more you do.
algorithm get in my way sometimes.
Right. But see, that's why we got to build our own platforms.
Right.
See, and this is the whole point. This is a small piece of something greater. Actually, Mandy and Riz are a part of different projects that spawn off from just this show.
Different communities.
That's future stuff. But the whole point is, as our platform grows, we'll get more Miss Marvels. We'll get more diversity to the point where it's no longer diverse. It's just the norm. That's what I'm tired of. That's a black superhero, because nobody does that when it's Superman, Aquaman. They just say, that's superhero or this that. They don't say a white superhero. Yeah. Whenever it's Black Panther, and stop putting black in the front of all the Black Panthers. Black Lightning, Black Panther, Black Tiger.
So is he Black Panther?
Huh? When he had Black Lightning on Birdman?
Yeah.
And he was like, we should come up with a name. How about Supervolt? He was like, nah, how about, Gigavolt, blah, blah, blah. Then this dude that can talk fish is like, we should call you Black Lightning. It's like, what? Man, we should call you Whitefish. That was the first time. It's like, people always wondered. Like me, I was like, why do they call him Black Lightning? I guess he's black and he shoots lightning.
Yeah.
All right, then.
Listen, those are the only. Listen, the way they named superheroes in the 80s was, is he black? Check yes or no. Yes. His name will be black. What's his power? So, is he a panther? He's a Black Panther. Is he shooting lightning? He's black.
Well, it's kind of redundant because panthers are black anyway.
Right. So let's be technical, right? So the Black Panther came out in the 60s. Yeah. Around the Civil Rights Movement.
Right, well, when
the Black Panther movement was
right.
So let's not act like they was like, he's black. That's not why.
Well, no. Jack Kirby, the original creator.
He was Black Panther.
Yeah. Right, he named it. Yeah. Now we joking. He definitely named it after the Black Panther movement.
Yeah. Now Black Lightning is different.
The DC Boys was on a whole nother way. Guess what? Netflix is popping again, y'all. If you have not seen When They See Us, check out last episode. We did 2.5 hours on why you should see it. And if you don't, it's okay, my brothers and sisters. There's enough PTSD in the world that you don't need to subject yourself to that again.
I want people to watch it with their own opinion, though. Like, cause if you watched it after you saw the social media tirade, it's like you sit down angry. Now you ready for it. Like, I want watch it with your own eyes,
right? With a cleansed palate.
Yeah, man. And you'll get a different perspective of it, because it's definitely trauma, right? but it's more to it. Like the non-education they didn't have to not talk to the police and not get fake confessions. And,
right.
You know, like
and stuff that. Trust me, we gave 10. Remember, don't forget, y'all. At the end of the last episode, we gave you 10 points of reference whenever you're stopped by the police, and 8 points of reference if you're ever interrogated by the police. Go to the end of the show, check out that information, put it in your wallet, especially if you're African American. But it doesn't matter if you're a minority or if you're not a person of color at all. It's important information to know in an over-police state.
Overthrow the government.
Yeah. Black Mirror. Let me tell y'all something. Black Mirror is back, baby. And I think, I'm sorry, there's a lot of Twilight Zone fans, but Black Mirror is killing the game.
Yeah, it really is.
I've been a Black Mirror fan from day one. I don't know, man.
I could do without Anthony Mackie.
Robot dog.
So, is there black actors that you do like?
Now, mind you, we're not doing no spoilers.
You didn't even ask me why I didn't like Michael B. Jordan. You didn't ask me.
No, because a lot of dudes just hate Michael B. Jordan.
Why?
I don't like Michael B. Jordan, right? And other actors for this reason, right? Just because you can make faces and be angry or sad doesn't make you a good actor. All right? So name me a Michael B. Jordan role that you was like, damn, he killed that. I'm waiting. Besides Killmonger, because he did good at Killmonger.
Fruitvale Station.
Well, no,
Fruitvale Station.
Don't use Killmonger as a reference because he only had to be one thing through the entire.
Right. Well, Denzel was
There's
one guy.
no range of motion.
Denzel don't got a lot of range, but y'all love him.
Whoa.
So you don't like Denzel?
Stop.
That's what I said.
Get him out the
No, it doesn't.
I can't say
Security. Don. Get him. Call the cops.
First you gotta do
Call the. Did he just say Denzel?
All
right, no, wait. Before think about it.
Wait, are y'all on the chat? Did y'all chat?
Listen.
Okay, all right.
Denzel, right? What roles are different?
Everybody mama about to come get you.
Can I hold on. Sass, tag me. Sass, tag me in. Hold on. John Q. Lady Sings the Blues.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
No,
Lady Sings the Blues. Don't do that.
Lady Sings the Blues. Hold on.
Mississippi Masala.
Listen.
Everybody running all the old shit.
Equalizer. 5 different distinct characters.
No, but you
now let's get into it.
There is a video. I love this video.
We about to not care about Black Mirror at all and just argue this point.
They had about I think like 4 or 5 guys who did like individual roles
Melvin
that
Gregg.
he did.
It was Melvin Gregg.
And they all sat at the table. Oh my God!
And it's the same dude.
Hold on. No. It's not the same character, but it's the same.
They had similarities.
Listen, every Tom Cruise movie, what he's gonna do? He's gonna run endlessly for no reason.
Yeah.
Every Will Smith movie, he's gonna do he's gonna do that same dumb laugh.
Will Smith has more range.
Will Smith gonna do Angry Cry where he had one tear come down. Listen to everybody that's
Denzel couldn't
we
play
will
his.
never ever. Please go to his Instagram and spam it.
You never seen Denzel in a comedy, right?
I don't think Denzel doesn't translate funny very well. Even though I think he.
So let's talk about range. Range is.
The Preacher's Wife was the closest thing that he did.
That was supposed to be funny,
right? And he did good. Training Day was funny for niggas. That's
like you had to.
Yo, Denzel fans love to bring up Training Day. Training Day, he was different.
I hear that shit. Talking about their movie, but that was a good movie.
I like Training Day.
What?
Look, Deja Vu. I'm not saying that he hasn't played similar characters. Denzel aside.
Everybody
so if
plays
you say
no, they don't.
Somebody else. No, they don't.
He got 4.
Look,
Jamie Foxx don't play
Denzel is
similar
everybody's
characters.
uncle, and we respect and love Denzel.
I just like Black Mirror superhero.
Name
Black
similar
Hero.
characters.
I mean Black Hero. Black Sea Dog on it.
From Jamie Foxx.
So basically it's a mirror and then there's
I thought
superhero,
Black Mirror.
so it's like
I thought they named Black Mirror because there were so many
superhero?
black people in it, but it's because of the black screen on the.
No, I thought it was a superhero that was a mirror.
Like because when you look at the black screen of your phone, it looks back at you.
Hey y'all. I have to go walk my dog.
You gotta walk your dog.
I gotta go walk my dog, y'all.
Oh, that means you gotta take your dog. It's straight out the door.
No, for real. I have to go. I do have a dog.
Wait, what kind of dog?
It's a German Shepherd Pit Bull mix.
I've never seen that before.
It's like German ghetto.
Yeah. It's funny, man. So my lady went to the market to get her some food, and came home with a dog. It was the weirdest shit ever, man. So,
and he just followed me home.
Yeah, so
that's how I got my last girlfriend.
Get the spray bottle.
Get out of here. Get off my porch.
But y'all gotta bring me on some more, y'all.
Yo,
definitely,
for sure, good brother.
It was a
Thank
pleasure,
you for coming
man.
in and
I
stopping by
appreciate
with
it,
the family.
man.
It's good to have you.
We can talk about this Denzel thing a little more.
Mind you, I just gave the signal for him to get out because he talked about Denzel.
Denzel fans, man. We're gonna see you again. Instagram RIZREESC, Facebook Rizman Reese RIZMANREESC.
Don't worry, y'all. Y'all gonna be seeing a lot more. We got a whole nother show in the works. It'll be dumb funny. And just so y'all know, real quick, today is National Black Men Don't Cheat Day. We both are a part of the Black Men Don't Cheat Club, dues paying members. And Riz, you've never cheated, right?
Never.
I've never cheated a day in my life. And
I cheated at Monopoly.
I think everybody cheats at Monopoly.
White women cheat.
Yeah, black women do cheat.
There are options.
Shoot your shot to the lead, but you're not going to stay and catch these hands. These verbal hands.
All the ladies on your shirt cheated.
He was like, I'm going to drop this on you. And they got the Golden Girl shirt on with it. Yo, always much love. Listen, y'all. Any man that came in with a Golden Girl shirt,
right?
Don't worry, my black sisters. We are still here with you. I know y'all only cheat on Tuesdays.
Tuesday. No, that was yesterday.
She was like,
it's true.
Listen, we was up in this joint tight. We can move down now because we get some air.
Swamp ass.
Black men.
Stay out my swamp ass.
And see, fellas, this is what they talk about when we don't know.
Swamp ass.
Right.
Black Mirror.
Yes.
How did you feel about it, Tab?
I felt as though this season was a little less intense. They took a little bit of a step back from the doom and gloom and all the horrible, terrible things that happen with technology, and they more made it about, regular stuff, the horrible things people do to other people.
Yeah, like what if scenarios. That first one, I like that. Which one?
Episode 2 was the hostage situation.
That was sad. I didn't get to see it.
That was the only one where it left kind of like on that cliffhanger where the ending wasn't clear, and I was just like, wait, did he? Who dies?
I know what you're looking at. It's all like under here.
Are you?
No, we're under the thingy. We're messing with the camera.
Yeah, we're trying to.
It's like now that we scooted over, like this is all in my head. So I'm like, oh, they're only looking at my tits, anyways.
Yeah.
Oh. So I was just like,
I was trying to make sure that all our viewers had an ample view.
Like, some of our viewers want to see your beautiful face too.
I'm older than the Golden Girls.
Yeah. Oh, well, they see the face second. Anyway,
right.
I'm not a trash bag. I'm a pervert.
The word.
I don't know. We don't have to put you in like a wayward school for boys or something to like get you together.
Yes, ma'am. Listen, I am always improving. I'm trying to.
Pouvier. That's a good one. That's a good one. Do you have any great Pouvier?
Yo, my man Hassan said, "Thank you for being a friend." Oh, you're welcome.
Unfriended. Just kidding. Just kidding.
So would you recommend this series for all our viewers? Is it worth the watch for season 3?
Yes, it's season 5.
Season 5. Wow. Wow.
When you see me over here, just like yes, whatever it was, yes, I liked it.
Because she like Black. She like Black Mirror.
Yeah.
I liked it. I wouldn't say that they were bad. It's just like I said, it's a little less intense, which is fine because I found as though some of the episodes in previous seasons way too intense, like the one with the Robo Dog.
Yeah, that's the one that everybody keeps tagging me in. I haven't seen it, but they keep tagging me in the Robo Dog. That's all I know.
I hate that. I thought that was the worst one of all.
I gotta go back and look at
the black and white.
I'm gonna have to watch it
now.
You think that's worse than the very first episode, the Prime Minister screwing the pig?
That was the best episode ever. That's what drew me in. I was like, what kind of mess?
That sounds crazy.
Not because it was a kink, but it was just an interesting concept.
So eating a BLT going, this is hot.
Actually, I didn't know that was the first episode until I sat down to watch it. Because the other 2 episodes in that season, the one with Daniel Kaluuya where he's like bicycling for the credits, so that one I thought was the first episode. So when I sat down to watch it, and I was like, wait, whoa, what is this? And then my sister was like, just keep going. That first one's kind of rough, but
see, that's the thing. That first one it was the hook.
Yeah.
Because after you saw that, you were like, oh, this ain't like the Twilight. This is not your mama's and daddy's suspense show.
Yeah, but I never recommend people watch that one first. I'm like, start with episode 2. Watch episode 3, circle back to episode 1, and then go to season 2.
So it's kind of like Sex, Love, and Robots, where you can just like watch whatever one you want first, and then because
I need you to be in that series as a something,
dude. Yeah. Oh, dude, Good Hunting, dude, the Hula Jing.
Yo,
I can't wait to. Oh, she has her child and everything. It's gonna be great.
So yes and no. So Black Mirror, the stories aren't linear, but they feature technology and they make references to other episodes. So it is kind of important that you see certain things in order. So you don't necessarily need to watch the episodes of an individual season in order, but you do need to watch season 1 before you watch season 2 before you watch season 3.
You should do those one of those memes, like, you know, where like Charlie Day is like trying to explain something and be like, so what you gotta do is you gotta watch this one, and then like here's the map, you gotta go back because then the pig
just watch it in order. Watch it in the order that Netflix set it up at, because I'm telling you right now,
the Robots one wasn't like.
I wouldn't have if not for that first one. That's such an intense, and I'm not saying it's so well written. It makes so much sense, and it's indicative of social media. Which social media is basically governed by popular opinion. Yeah. If social media says that you're a bad person, you will be a bad person.
Hello,
right? If social media thinks that you
cosplay in February, Andy.
Social media will acquit you in actual, real court proceedings because. Peers. You're always going to have a jury of your peers. So if social media can influence it, look, R. Kelly has not gone to jail to date thanks to the influx of social media.
And his bail payers.
But see, where do the bail payers get their publicity from?
From the internet.
Yeah. First season, Black Mirror. Second season, Black Mirror. Third season.
That's where you draw the line, right?
Yeah.
3 seasons of a thing and you're
Actually, no, but Black Mirror doesn't fall into that.
That's like your favorite line. Actually, no.
I object.
Yeah. I'm like, look, mama, I said what I said, man.
No, my friends tell me. My friends tell me they're like, your favorite thing to say is first of all. First of all, actually.
Literally, actually, no. Yeah, but
hold on there, player.
Look, Black Mirror season 5. Check it out.
Because it's a series of anthology.
I don't listen to what he says.
Season 5 is going to be popping.
Ain't nobody listening to
it. And
it's a short season, which was nice because the seasons were getting really long for a second thing.
Like this segment, and we out of here with Black Mirror, and we have E3 that we have to get. You
gotta contain the crazy. I'm like,
listen,
I'm still happy about it, and I'm happy about some other stuff that I'll get this year.
Sassy, let me ask you. We all got to see the E3 coverage. Mm-hmm. Give me your favorite thing and the thing that I already know what upset you, but give me your best and worst scenario.
Well, let's see. How do I start this off first? Well, I'm happy that they're coming out with Luigi's Mansion 3 because I didn't get to play. Like, I played a little bit of it on an emulator recently, but I never got to get it like when it came out and it was on GameCube. I don't know why. I guess I was asking for other stuff at the time and not that.
And you got a GameCube.
But yeah, and I missed out on it. But either which way, now I get to do it over again, and it looks way better.
And better graphics.
Yeah, and now it has a multiplayer mode in it too, so that's gonna be cool because now I can play it with my friends. The part that I cared about the most and was plotting for E3 to even start was to find out about Animal Crossing.
She loves this game.
But the sad part, and it looks so beautiful, and it's like having something great dangled in your face, like, you want it, well, go get it, and they throw it, like, all the way over, like, in another country, so I'm not gonna get it until 2020 or March.
Oh, sassy tears.
They could at least put it in January. So it wouldn't have felt as bad.
What's Animal Crossing? Because I know it's really popular, but I've never played.
I've never even heard of Animal Crossing.
There we go.
So
You got
Animal
3
Crossing.
good minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it short. Animal Crossing is that game that you play when you're getting tired of all of the games with their difficulty levels and whatnot, and you want to do stuff at your own pace, and you sit back and relax, you decorate stuff. You have little animal villagers that live in the village that you're in. You start off with your little house, and they're just like, here's the basics. You get a bed and your little radio and a lamp.
Oh, is that like Harvest Moon?
In a way, it's similar to how Harvest Moon
That's
works,
what I
minus
loved about Harvest Moon.
the stupid farming and the tasks that because they've been starting to get on my nerves lately with Harvest Moon on all this stuff that you have to do to even accomplish marriage. First, you have to go into the hills of the east and go find this plant so that you can cook this dish that your person that you like really.
So basically, Bill Cosby, and you gonna Bill Cosby somebody.
Oh, God. No, trash bag. Anyway, it's like Harvest Moon without all the hard parts, and they actually function
all the
like
harvesting
side
quests.
Yeah, it's a little more
Just the moon.
simple. You get to decorate. You do little favors for the animals. You make your village pretty, and now they're adding new features such as putting furniture outside, which was not a thing in any of the Animal Crossings. They have movable hair, like the hair is actually swaying and it's not just stiff in one place. But they still kept it like its same cute uniqueness that we love Animal Crossing for.
We still on Animal Crossing.
You know what? How about you go get a Switch and you actually play it, and then you can help me with my village because they have a multiplayer thing.
Sassy just got me into Mario Party, and she kicked my behind. I didn't even want to play that game. I don't like losing.
I'm just saying,
Mario Party is great, but it will make you leave at the end of it mad when they do you land on a happening space and they flip all of your assets over to somebody else, and now you just lost the game at the last 3 turns.
I would do that. I would do that cheat mood, like one hit kill until I'm done, and then.
Well, I'll say this: we got a video for you guys. Don, what's the first one we got up?
Here's 4 or 5.
What's the longest one? And that's what? How many minutes? 6 or 7. Listen, y'all have to see this trailer for Cyberpunk. We're going to talk about Keanu Reeves. We're going to talk about a bunch of different stuff. But this is a perfect time for us to get right into Cyberpunk. Enjoy the trailer.
Show no respect, but no shit, nobody goes to sleep.
V, my man, you made it. You blowing up all over the news. Are you alone?
I just want the money.
You got the chip? All right, start her up, Bug. Why don't you go to the bathroom, wash up, we gonna be with you in a minute.
What?
Oh, come on, man. Your neck, it's a mess.
While hotel security has yet to comment, we do know the suspect seems to have fled the scene.
Initiating combat mode.
Go!
Destination confirmed.
Woo! That's what I'm talking about! Alright! In and out, bitches! We're rich! Oh, we are going to the major leagues, Jackie! Jack?
Oh, shit!
No. Okay, get to a clinic, now.
Mr. Wells' condition is critical.
Go!
Immediate medical
It's gonna
help
be okay.
is required.
Just hold on. Hey, just think about all the good shit we're gonna have, huh?
I'm sorry.
take the fucking chip decks.
Every corporal cop in this city's gonna be blasting down these doors after what you and your psycho friend did. We didn't need all this cocksucking attention, damn it.
Wake the fuck up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
And we're back, yo. That trailer set off Xbox's entire, like, that is its flagship right now. But there's a couple of reasons why. Number one, graphics look amazing. I mean, graphics look amazing, but of course, once again, that was, you know, that's basically the full motion video. Let's actually see what gameplay looks like. But aside from that, Keanu Reeves.
Yes, Keanu Reeves. Yeah, let's talk about that part.
Clean up on Aisle Nerd.
Let me clear my spot.
His hair looked as beautiful as it does in real life.
Get your life together.
What?
You are a pervert.
What? I know you're not talking to them. You're going to start throwing this pervert word around.
Look, we are a PG-13 show, madam.
Talk to the hand. Like I said, Keanu, more of that. I don't care about anything else but that part right there. Like, keep that going and I'll buy whatever you want me to buy.
You know,
right. Have you seen him in his the new Ali Wong thing?
No. Oh, yeah, I heard of it.
I was so happy when he walked out. I didn't know he was in it.
Yeah,
so that caught me off guard and I was like, that's Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, because I was following Ali Wong and then I saw a picture of her kissing him because I guess she helped with the production. She's like thinking of a producer. I'm like, what? Casting all the perverts.
I was so angry. I wanted that part.
But how do y'all feel? Well, how do y'all feel about seeing actors now permeate your video games? Because
they've been done permeating.
And I'm like Norman Reedus. They keep picking all of these
Norman Reedus.
people.
I'm about to say Norman Reedus. That's huge.
Yeah, that's really.
Does it make you want to buy the game?
Yes, because I like them.
Listen, game designers, you hear it.
And back off his day, I was a day one fan since he was in the second Blade. I didn't know who he was, but I knew I liked him then. And then he came back and Walking Dead, and I'm like, I like that guy. And I'm like, oh, that's the guy.
That's the guy. Norman Reedus that's the guy face. You be like, hey, that's that's the guy. Now, when you're talking about gaming, I mean, obviously you're not just buying it for the fact that that single character in there. But what is it that you look for, like out of E3? I know you like the Animal Crossing, right? Mm-hmm. What about you, Mandy? Did you see anything that you like?
What, E3?
Yeah.
No.
Keanu Reeves. She's like Cyberpunk 2077.
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
And I look at the costumes. Like when I look at a video game, I look at the costumes because I'm like, oh, I want to see a bad. Can I say ass?
Yeah.
I want to see a badass chick in badass stuff doing badass warrior stuff.
Me too.
You know what I mean? That's what I want to see. So I'm all about the costume, the way the girls look. And
ladies, if you in the chat, do y'all agree?
Murderous.
Yeah. Like I'm a big fan. I don't know about you of the Dead or Alive series because of the outfits and the clothing and whatnot. But I know a lot of people are not fans of it because from the. Well, what's your reason on why you're not a fan of it?
The bouncing boobs.
Yeah,
but are you kidding me? Like, how?
They want to take all the fun out of it.
They're so bad. Because I don't do that in real life. It's fantasy. It's a fantasy world.
Actually,
Just look at the clothes.
Listen, everybody on this, let me tell you something. Everybody on this panel got a rap.
I wish somebody would take them away. Sometimes they ruin my life.
You and me both.
My nipples are the only thing that's ruined mine.
Listen, my areola is sensitive right now.
Okay, next
Alright. Sorry, guys.
Listen, we have
That's
another
my
trailer
fault.
up. We're going to get right into. Don, what's the next one?
Gears of War 5.
Yo, of course, Gears of War 5. Gears of War 5, we're going to run this trailer for you guys. We're going to bring it up in a few seconds. I'm a huge Gears of War fan, and the fact that we're getting another iteration of it, I'm super excited. Check it out right now.
They attacked, and we lost everything. Everything except the need for revenge. This might look like a surrender, but it's not. It's an invasion.
Play 4 days early with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate.
See the outfits.
Yo, let me tell y'all something. Gears of War already, off the bat, the trailer looks amazing. We see that we have another woman of color as a main protagonist. So you get a little bit more of the representation, fist in solidarity. One of the things that I love about E3 is the fact that they'll always give you that classic game that they know the fans love and drop the new version of it. And when that if you're a Gears of War fan, that's the reason why they have a live audience at E3. Because you hear the hooting and hollering. Like somebody at Bethesda's E3, and it's one guy, and every sentence he was like, "Woo!"
So that's why everybody was told saying that guy needed to shut up.
Yo, it was to the point where, it was too much. Just going back to the chat, somebody threw me off. Khalil came into the chat and said, "I hop in here, and yet titties. Khalil, I'm not sure whose titties you was referring to.
As long as you watching, bro.
Listen, whatever brings
Tune
you
in, tune in. I don't give a.
Stephen Jordan said, bad chick with talents and good weapons and clothes, depending on what it is. Hey, listen.
It's like Cardi B with a gun.
Steve also said, I like to get some Star Wars games. I like
Jedi Fallen Order. Y'all really want to see?
Do we got Jedi?
I got Jedi Fallen Order.
How long is it?
That bad boy 5 minutes, man.
We not that deep.
Look it up.
I'll put it like this. We'll put the Jedi trailer. We got a bunch of trailers. We'll put it on the
I forgot about that. The for Final Fantasy, because it's gonna be on the Switch too. So, and I never played it, so I'll take this opportunity since it's available on the system that I have and try it out.
I'm gonna get a few of the
and Halo Infinite. I can't tell you the number of hours devoted to Halo. Now, one thing that I was excited about with E3, it was the most disappointing thing for me.
What?
We're about to play the trailer for it right now. I really have been waiting for this video game for well over a decade. And I just knew they were going to hit a home run with it. But instead, we got this.
You know that old saying, never meet your heroes? Well, I did. And it was awesome. The Avengers were everything I imagined.
Hello, San Francisco!
Thor, Tony, check it out. At once.
Try to keep up. This just got a whole lot more interesting.
Let's make this quick. Secure the bridge. Those weapons can't get into the city.
You set him up. Bob, knock him down.
Thor, what's your status?
There are humans trapped. Lots of small, angry men with guns.
Was that a joke? Did Thor make a joke? Cap, they got pulsar tanks.
Tony, Thor, the cables! Cap, what's going on over there?
Start the Chimera. What's your status?
We should head back.
No, stay on task. There are still civilians on this bridge.
Reactor.
Damn it, they played us.
Some say they were set up. Others call them murderers.
Do the Avengers pose a danger to society? That was the question, Bruce. That was the question.
Well, we all lost something that day. But that's not how this story ends.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Again, though.
All right, look, y'all. I just want to say this. I'm a huge Captain America fan. Don't you say a word, Mandy. Not yet. Not yet. You can unleash the hound in 5 seconds. I saw Captain America in this trailer, and my first thought was,
I want to see
Harpo, who this man? Who this man, Harpo? Because I did not recognize anybody in that. And this is going to be the hottest game on PlayStation 1.
I like it.
But as far as graphics for a PlayStation 4 or 5, a future 5, what were y'all
They
thinking?
can't do 2 play. They can't even do PlayStation.
That was PlayStation.
2. They look like blocks.
No, that was Minecraft related. That Parappa has better graphics.
Don't bring Parappa up into this.
Kick, punch.
But that's
It's
what
all
Captain
in the
America looks
mind.
like all the time.
You want to test me? I'm sorry.
I like that, Jay.
What? Now, go ahead. Unleash your tirade.
I just don't like Captain America. I mean, like, I'm a soldier, and like, ain't no soldier ever be that optimistic. Like, no, you ain't never been a soldier. Like,
You never
like,
seen
he's
Civil
annoying.
War?
He's so annoying. He wanted to suck his own. So
Shield.
hard,
Shield.
so hard.
So
His own, so hard in that whole thing.
For any kids that were listening, she was talking about the Hydra tentacle.
Yes.
Oh, that didn't make it better.
Wow. I like the Hydra tentacle. That's fun. Calamari should not turn me on.
We went from Captain America to hentai in like 0.5
Captain
seconds.
America's just whack. He's so whack. He's like I don't even hate on characters, but I just can't stand him. Every time, even the cosplayers, I'm starting to do like Meg. Like, you know how people are mean to Meg? Like, shut up, Meg? I'm like, shut up, Captain. Like, they don't even do nothing to me. They're like, Mandy, we're a fan. I'm like, no, shut up.
They on their social
change
media.
your costume.
I came across this really random mean girl. She told me to shut up. I was Captain America.
Well, you know what? Stay positive, bro.
Shut
up, Captain America.
I'll put it like this.
Dumbass.
Would you play that? She really does not like Captain America. Would you play this game?
Would I? It looks like a decent game.
Wow.
With decent gameplay.
That's like when you see somebody's baby and like, oh, he looks intelligent.
No.
Nah.
My sister's baby looked like Popeye. Like wrinkly and purple. Like, put it back.
Yo, Mandy she is so the cold. She said yeet. Yo,
that's my nephew. Bye.
I'm sorry.
I think her yeet might have been more spot on than mine.
You can't say anything else about this. Yo, we will end it on Mandy said yeet.
And that's a wrap, folks.
Look, E3 had a bunch of drops, and there's a lot of great content that's coming out. If you want, you can follow up on the Head Nerds in Charge page. We'll be dropping all the different trailers that we like from E3. And outside of that, we're going to move on, and we're going to talk to Mandy a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, I thought we did that.
No,
we need to know more about you, Mandy.
Oh, but
that
but I like
to
be infamous, because then, like, you know, I can like go to the store and like have like no eyebrows on and like nobody messes with me.
But Mandy,
we love you without eyebrows.
For anybody that's just now tuning in, because we got a few people that just jumped on, who are you cosplaying as right now?
As Mandy, man.
From where?
From the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, and it was like. I mean, she's like this little terror that ends up convincing, I guess, a Jamaican the Grim Reaper to be her best friend.
He's got a Jamaican accent.
Yeah. What sort of butty wild was your
right.
all the time? You know, like Sweet Pea.
Gotcha.
anyways, but yeah, no, she's always been a great character to me, and I've always wanted to like cosplay her. And like after my last, you know, traumatic move or whatever, I had all this stuff out, and I was like, you know what, I can do this. I can put this together. I'm a creative. And sure enough, I spent all night like spraying it up and like laying it down. I made a little like how-to video. And
but see,
you
the
know
cool
what I mean?
thing about you, Mandy, is one thing that I enjoy, that you're never any one thing.
Oh no, and that's a problem as well though in my career, because like it's a problem and a blessing, because like I'm very multi-talented.
Okay, what is it that you do?
What don't I do would be easier.
Yeah, facts.
White guys like Captain America. Sit down, Captain.
but Shanghai? Oh yeah, buddy. Bruce Lee?
Oh man.
All right, first and foremost, here's something. Number one, you're a veteran.
Yes.
explain that just a little bit, briefly.
Okay, well, when you're, I'm going to say it straight up. When you're poor and don't have a lot of options, you want to better your life, you go and do these same things. I couldn't afford college. I couldn't afford medical insurance. So I joined the army to get myself into a better life, which is the reason that the government itself keeps people dumb and poor, because it keeps soldiers going in.
But now, mind you, fellas, don't think that she's some old wallflower that sat somewhere. I've seen Mandy. Mandy has fired some impressive weaponry.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to fight me.
Yo, Mandy is not no pushover by any stretch of the imagination.
But I don't start no shit. Stuff won't be no stuff. You know what I mean? So that's like the rule number one. But like, it's just when you're low hanging fruit like this, you gotta keep fighting. And that's what all I've been doing is fighting. And all my whole dream, my overall dream, is to prove that girl from the PJs can like. And
the PJs in New Mexico.
Yeah, man. I used to kick in the club in my Nike chanclas. Yo soy Maneca Sangre Azteca. I used to shave up my eyebrows and put them back on with Sharpies, man. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to pull all that out on you. Sí, what, carnal? So, no, like, right, Simon. So, like, you know, like, see, now I can't get it away. Now I can't put it back, man.
Mandy's from New Mexico.
Yeah,
so
and Espanol, New Mexico.
She was actually one of the few minorities in her neighborhood.
Yeah. And I mean, and I get being different, and I didn't even understand what like white privilege was until I even got out. Like, because even when I left New Mexico, I was in the army. There's nothing but poor white people and people of color.
Right.
I mean, come on, let's be real. And then when I got out of that, and I'm like living in like New Jersey, and then my producing job is taking me out into like the suburbs and stuff. I'm like, what the? Like I was living in like Long Island, right? And it's nothing but like fat white kids on Skywalkers eating sandwiches. I was like, y'all have too much. They're just like strolling around. I'm like, what?
It's stuff in their faces.
And like, how is it that Long Island is so close to New York City and there ain't nobody but white people in those neighborhoods?
Easily. It's called gentrification.
But I didn't get that.
It's called redlining.
I had to learn all that because I didn't get it.
But that's the cool part, because one of the things that I also love about you is you're an advocate for literally everybody.
Yeah.
Now, I saw your new protest in Times Square.
Right on, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That takes a lot of heart.
Yeah, well, I mean, if anything I have is that's why I got titties, you know, because I got to protect my big old heart. You know, you know what I mean? And the stronger. And
I'm going to start using that same excuse.
Bye.
That's why I got my titties.
Yeah, and it really comes down to like when the stronger I am becoming, the more I'm educated and seeing the world as it is.
Right.
I feel responsible to change. And honestly, there's a couple things I really feel passionate about, and that's, you know, police reform. Because the last thing I want is for one of my cosplaying friends to be walking with one of our guns and get gunned down for no dumb reason like that. Like before that happens, I need to stand up. You know what I mean? And women, women, stop crapping on other women. Like we have so much against us on our plate as it is. Stop hurting other women. Like, so rise up, and then you don't feel that kind of way.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, seriously, be pro girl. Y'all be pro girl.
them in the bag.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, there's no, if you don't even like the girl, block her. Ignore her. Ignore me. If you don't like me, block me, bro. Leave me alone.
But everybody can eat if we all work together.
Dude, and we can have so much, but you have to create the change you want to see in the world. And that's a lot of what I'm doing in Times Square for that protest. Or not protest, but, you know, art movement. You know, I'm basically using my body as a billboard for attention and to get those messages that I find strongly about.
But now, see, that brings me to my next question. A lot of people do not have the same affinity for your art.
Of course not.
A lot of people consider it either too risque or downright inappropriate. Well, then, what do you say? Hold on. Oh, what do you say to those critics who look at you?
It's PG-13, ma'am.
Does this not work? Does it get blurred out?
Blurred finger.
Yo.
I did it.
From somebody who is a firm believer in I really could care less what people think about me, I enjoy being around you and having that personality.
And that's even like a downfall in itself too. Right. I find that a lot of the people that have hurt me the most as far as women go are the people that like act acted like they were my fans the most, and they admired me, but then they were jealous that they couldn't get to that point. And instead of just like letting me fly, they wanted to stop me from being more than I could. And I was like, dude, that's not the point. That's not where your love that got me to that point was for.
So it's not easy being in the spotlight.
It's not. That's why I like being infamous. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't care about I thought I used to care about the fame and the stuff like that, but like, I really care about my art and being genuine and being true to myself. And at the end of the day, and learning about myself. There's stuff I don't even know that I liked. I was a doormat when I was in the Army, believe it or not. No, I didn't know how I liked my coffee. I was suicidal. I was with dudes that were just trash. And until I was I just sat there and I was like, well, what does Mandy want? You know, what does Mandy want to do? And I did. And I started looking towards myself first rather than projecting what because I'm, I'm poor, but I'm like, oh, well, but I've still got privilege. Right. So run with that then.
But
you know what I mean? Do whatever you gotta do.
You're one of the few people who I know successfully overcome strong drug addictions. And
any drug addict will always be a drug addict. I have to face this every day. Right. Granted, this is the most sober I've ever been, but it's not something I don't deal with every day. I could think that I'm having fun 1 minute, I'm celebrating today. Nah, you're on a bender, or you're overdoing it, or you're sad. Yeah, so you're like, oh, I'm upset, so I'm gonna have a drink. I'm happy, I'm gonna have a drink. I'm gonna do this, that. No, it's a battle I'm gonna have to fight every day. But I expose myself because I know that the first thing I did to get to my recovery was admit I had a problem, and then tell all my friends, because I was in the Army smoking dope, whatever, and nobody even knew because I was a functioning addict. Right. It wasn't until I just said, I have this problem, that now everybody was aware of it, and they were able to help me. It's caused me, to lose jobs, blah blah blah. Not even the drug action itself, because I could cover that up. Mm-hmm. It was the fact that I admitted it out loud, and that it's so shameful. And I don't want to be ashamed about who I am and what I've had to do to survive, whether I used a crutch or not. You know what I mean?
That's real talk. That's why I brought it up. And I feel, mind you, I appreciate you feeling comfortable enough, especially to talk with us our friends, because one of the things that, whether people know it or not, being a creative, which we talk about, how often do we talk about that? Being a creative, you put yourself in a mental space where sometimes you can go to very dark places or very emotional places. And a lot of the times, a lot of people that we know, and as we've seen it plenty of time, to be a creative is to almost be in a perpetual state of flux. So to regulate that flux, whether you're high, you use it down and to bring you down. And
it's also being an empath. I think that most creatives are empaths, and when I feel somebody hurting, I feel that hurt. And I can't shake it. I can't do anything about it because I have to feel. I overfeel. And the only way I've been able to transition those overfeels, was through art. And I through my Airbnb, I've been able to finance a stable home so that I could make art, which therefore is my cure for not doing drugs, my outlet. And it's a healthy outlet. And I think that if we as a society didn't dumb down our poor kids like myself and supported things like the arts, I wouldn't have to have gone through all that, and I could have inspired other people to do better, or just even taught other people to do better.
I have a question from the audience. I'm sorry.
Oh, sure.
They wanted to know, have you ever cosplayed as Lady Death?
No, but she's on my list too, though. Yo, she's on my list. Yeah, she's on my list.
Somebody said that they already knew you hated Captain America.
Yeah, probably because he was dressed as Captain, probably trolled him. I'm like, wah, wah.
Mind you, if y'all have any questions for Mandy Katana, by all means, drop them in the chat. We'll be paying attention, and we can pass it off and make sure she answers any of our fans that are tuning in right now.
Yeah.
So, Mandy, when you start talking about your platforms, you're on social media, you get kicked off a lot.
Yes. And that's because, females, it's just a nipple for Christ's sake. Granted, my butthole's on the internet too. But
Google just broke.
Yeah, right? Nah, and it's just females are oppressed. We're second-class citizens. And, and that's how they keep us down. But we're also at a golden age because we're always sexualized. We've been sexualized since,
Now, when you say free to nipple, because I'm not to interrupt you, but I want people to be clear on specifically what you're talking about, which is a very specific point, one in which I agree with, is when you say free to nipple, obviously your nipples and my nipples are held to a different standard.
Yeah, and it's like, but I mean, it's just oppressing women, and women, when they see me with my nipples out, they get jealous because they're like, secretly they want their nipples out too. Like when I wear a bathing suit, like no,
ladies,
seriously,
is this true? Do all y'all want your nipples out?
Yeah, not all of them, but still, like when you're wearing a bikini, right?
I don't think any man's gonna disagree.
No, when I have to wear a bikini, when I go swimming, I have to sit there with this soggy, oppressive chest loincloth. Right. And like I just want to take it off and dry off like you, but no, I can't because la la la. And then when I do, they're like, "Well, she can't do that. That's not the rule. She's breaking the rules."
So can I say, someone who has breastfed my child since he was over 2, and breastfed in public because my child got hungry in public, just the same way everyone else does. I'm kind of totally with that because I would go to breastfeed my son, and people would be like, "Man." First of all, his head is too big for you to see my nipples. Number 1. Number 2, you shouldn't be looking at my nipples anyway if it makes you uncomfortable.
Right.
I'm about to say, you breastfeed, I'm like this.
But it's like,
no, I'm talking about because I'm admiring the beautiful baby you trash people.
What?
Yo, that is going on a shirt. No, and it's funny. You, in conversation with you, instantaneously made me question my viewpoint and opinion on that because legitimately, and I kind of got a little sense of how you must have interactions with other people because I amongst men, I said, really, what is the difference? Between nipples.
Okay, you guys are having a conversation about like when you have something covered, right? It becomes like you want to see that thing.
Right.
It's like I watched. Yeah, exactly. I watched this Indian woman talk about like like the boobs and vajanes, like those guys. The reason that they're like so curious and so anxious to see it, it's because it's covered up. If you saw it all the time, you ain't even worried about it. If there were titties all the time, you wouldn't care. You wouldn't care. So I try to normalize that in my own world. And now when my friends see me making bacon with my titties out, they don't even care. When they see my titty pop up on their Instagram, they don't care.
So I have to say this because I was definitely thinking about it. And everybody who knows me knows how I can be kind of like, or I guess we would consider it as being a little prudish.
I knew you were going to say prudish.
I'm not really, when it comes to exposure, at first, like, you helped me have a different perspective of it. Because at first it was kind of like off limits. No, I'm not doing that because of the way I was raised. Right. And as of lately, I've been trying to like re-gear my how I think because of the way things are right now. And I'm like, if you stay in that thought process, you're gonna be angry at a lot of things in this generation. So and it really helped from me being friends with you and coming over to visit. And I remember the first time when we really broke limits, and that's when I got all the way comfortable because I'm like, she's like Tommy Pickles to where she's just like naked is free. And she comes to the door and I already was ready for it because we had already seen it on the phone.
I normalized it.
And she comes in and hugs everybody. I'm like, oh no, this white lady don't got no shirt on. She about to touch me. And I had to get over it, and I was like, I'm gonna go in and it's gonna be fine. And I hugged you and it was fine, and I lived and I moved forward. Life was fine. So now I've become a lot more comfortable, and when I see these things on Facebook and whatnot, I'm starting to not be as rude about it.
I'll say this. I got plenty of Mandy stories. Just don't answer her FaceTimes.
Listen.
I forget where I was, and she called me and on FaceTime.
No, it was at Hibachi. I just stared at her.
Yo, I had a slip.
That's when she came to the door and hugged us.
I had a slip. I knew better. And I was like, Mandy. Woo.
And then you was just like,
I was like, oh, and mind you, if you know me, I joke, but I'm not conservative But I'm like, boobies.
I did want to make a really serious point that's something that I actually recently just discovered because, like you guys said, I do get kicked off my platforms a lot.
Wow.
I am infamous because of this reason, and I haven't reached a level of success because of my nudity. I love nudity. So I'm actually faced with a dilemma that I'm putting on more clothes to become successful in this day and age. And it's like, usually it's the opposite way. I'm literally having to put on more clothes to get more likes. Like, why? Like
Okay.
until I get, right?
We got 2 questions for you, Mandy. 2 questions. One by Mark Knuckles Carter.
Oh no, Mark!
Oh, no. Oh, wait. This is a question for me. It says, question to Kurt. Is there a difference between a white boob and a man boob? This is a reference from a previous episode where we discussed, talked about the white boob. Mark, you know the answer, you trash bag. You should bring your behind to the show. But
so there
is a story about you from a Steve Jordan who says, true story about Mermaid Day Parade last year.
Yeah.
Mandy blinded a cop with her breasticles.
I did.
I was busting a gut with the cops looking in his face.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and that was actually my my very first mermaid parade on my birthday, which is Sunday, and I want to Twitch. Anyways. What could you type in?
Shameless plug.
Right?
But no, Mandy, what social media platforms can people find you at?
Well, I mean, just if you go to mandyland.com, that's probably the easiest, because then you can see all the friends, you can see the Airbnb, all that stuff is on mandyland.com, but like on all the platforms it's Mandyland NYC, or just I don't know. I get kicked off so much. I had to start off with Mandyland, then Mandyland Philly, then Mandyland NYC, like Mandy Katana, then Mandy Cat Katana. Like, stop. Just let me be me.
Your current IG is the Mandy Cat Katana, right?
And it is at Mandyland NYC.
Yes, well, Mandyland NYC is my main page where I just do crap posting, but Mandy Cat Katana is where I've just focused my art, because I love promoting my friends.
And they
more
can
than
follow you
anything.
on Snap.
Oh yeah.
Where you're a bit more free on Snap.
No, they kicked me off there too now. Like out of every platform I've been kicked off of, like even Patreon, like Twitter is the last one that I've not been kicked off of.
Wow.
Yep. So, but like I was saying, like women also have this, because we've been sexualized for so long. That's why even your friend tapped on it. He goes, I can't compete with the Instagram models. Do you know why? Because we now have a platform to monetize that sexualization that we've been getting since like forever.
Which is a good thing.
And it's a good
puts
thing.
The power back in women's hands over our own bodies.
Yeah, thank you.
And I respect that. But is that really the only medium or vehicle that you feel? No. And I'm asking that. I'm not asking as to just cause an argument, but I'm asking.
Don't be reductive about those,
I love being a tits out freedom fighter. You know what I mean? And I love being naked, but I find that it's sad that like in order to get the cosplayers that just want to be regular cosplayers, they're like, let me see your lewds. And I don't like that. I think that that's awful. And then they get pushed into a corner to do something that they don't want to do.
Because that's the issue that I'm seeing now amongst the community.
But that's on us to take control of that. You got to do what you want to do, because at the end of the day, you're not going to feel some sort of way if you do what you knew was right in your heart.
Because a lot of women who cosplay feel the necessity because their regular pictures don't support their cosplay, but they see other women have success selling lewds. Now, mind you, what you choose to do, that's between you and yourself. But there's 2 sides to every coin. You don't have to feel like you have to sell lewds or do burlesque or do any of those things.
No, and if we uplifted women to be, strong and confident and to do what they wanted to do, not what the masses say. But also they selling out is selling out regardless on any
And don't shame somebody.
No,
not you, but I'm just saying.
And then also another point I want to make, we need to bring up our men to stop being so dogged and to take responsibility over their own sexuality and their own sexual urges. Don't put it back on women to be like, you are this sexual object and you need to cover up or do whatever because I feel a certain way about my body. Get your body in order. And take care of yourself.
Exactly.
I'm gonna do what I want to do because I feel good or because I don't feel good. This is me, and you can take it or leave it. But men need to get their act together. You don't own nobody over here.
And that's what I was wanting.
Specific men.
No.
Because not all men.
Oh, here we go with the
Yeah.
Here we go
I
with the
won't stand on that
Thank you,
as an
Sassy.
ally.
But
That is not all of them. It's the people
forget
who
all
are
y'all. Long
running
as Sassy
things.
love me, the
It's
world
not-
love me.
The people who are in
all
charge
men.
of making decisions, unfortunately, that higher up.
But it's not all men. It may not be all men, but not all men stand up for women, and that's what we need.
That's all people.
Yeah,
That's
no,
the-
but
people
I mean,
don't stand up for people. The
But
problem is you
here's
don't
the-
have enough women. You don't have enough women to stand up for
Lead by
specific
example.
causes, and you don't have enough men.
Lead by example. I've discovered my own peace by just focusing and not like I always thought that being conceited or like not being conceited, but self-love was conceited. But self-love has literally set me free. Loving myself and learning the things that I love, learning the things that I like, just make me a more peaceful person because then nobody else bothers me. You know what I mean? And we don't teach self-love. We don't learn to love ourselves. And
you don't
or to
learn to love yourself until you've fallen so deep into that self-hate that the only
and
way
that's all
out
we-
is to love
that's all we-
And that's one of the things
evolve.
that I agree with you. We have to be more supportive, especially because men know that somebody just put the patriarchy is overarching and controls how things are perceived and whatnot.
And like you were saying, it's not all men. You're right, it's not all men because those men have figured it out and like they act right, they love themselves, they're confident, they go out and they do the right thing because they're just good people and they had to work on yourself. Everybody is different. Not everybody's the same.
Just because she's nude. I mean, a woman can stand in front of you nude. That gives you no right to, number one, stare at her, doggone sure not touch her, or comment on things. Because unfortunately, I know for a fact you've been on con floors. Whether you were in,
I will touch me. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
But people have made attempts, advances.
Oh, but they do that anyways. Okay, so I'm gonna get really sad real quick. So my biological mom, which I was, I haven't been with for a long time, finally reached out to me after 10 years, whatever, sent me an email, saw my work, and was like, "You're disgusting," and this and that. She goes, "No wonder men wanted to grope at you." I was like, "Oh, really? Then what was the excuse when I was a 6-year-old little kid? Like, are you seriously gonna tell me that?" So what was my little dress asking for it? No, that's not the point. The point is that we gotta start protecting our women and uplifting our men so that they can also support everyone else and love yourself. I mean, that's all that old BS, that old mentality has to die in order for us to go. There's no place for you in our future.
Mandy might drop.
Yeah.
Listen, look, and that you can't say
all that stuff from that time period, all the old stuff from back in the day, all of that could just like leave.
Y'all can die now.
No, seriously, my Airbnb, like my landlord's girlfriend literally looked up my stuff. I was making great business, rented out the whole place, making mad money, and then she Googled me, and now I had to go to court today to figure out what the heck to do now. Because she felt some sort of way. Instead of just talking to me.
when art affects real life.
If you're not an artist that's not making people uncomfortable, you're not an artist. And if you're
listen,
not,
look, y'all. I know we passed the 10. I know we don't
sorry.
No, that's cool. No,
last what was that? We went on like for half a whole half an hour.
Listen,
I'm sorry.
We make the rules now.
She said, if we want to go past 10, we going past 10. We're going to end it with this last segment. Typically, we would have ended with Beat the Blurred, but I know we're running out of time, so we're going to close it out with this final
We're
segment.
skipping Beat the Blurred for the 3rd time.
Yeah, that's
one day we'll fit it in here. We got plenty of episodes to come.
Listen.
We could get Mandy to come back, I'm sure.
Oh no, Mandy!
I've been trying to play forever.
Mandy has to come back.
I live in Philly
now.
now.
Be here.
I was about to say, well, now
we're gonna have to work with whoever Cecily shows up and see if we can get less stuff in there so we can get Beat the Blurred in there.
Yeah.
But we have a question from our fans. Remember, hey Don, what's that phone number again?
I have it.
Oh, beautiful.
Jeff already posted.
I posted it like twice. 267-255-2291. Call in now if you have any questions.
Well, no, you don't call in. Don't call in now. You can always text us at any point in time to ask us any questions as in regards to nerd culture or just living life. What you got?
What's the text number?
It's the same number.
It's the same number.
Oh.
It's the same number that's being posted.
Oh.
We have have and I want everybody's opinion on the panel. We'll go around the room. So this is Ask the HNIC. We got this question from, I'm not gonna give out the phone number, but they're not stored in our list. And they didn't give a name. They said, are there any rules for dating a friend's ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend?
You asked
this
them.
This is not a normal geek or nerd question, but you know what? Dr. Love is in the building.
Oh,
so
God.
sit on back.
Communication.
Put your feet up.
Is that Dante?
Hold on.
Because I know it's not you.
Wait, hold on. We gonna put our feet up and get to the smooth listening of Cool Daddy Kurt, sexy, sassy, malicious man, and tantalizing. So let's Tav, what are the rules for dating an ex?
Okay, so if you there's a couple of factors that go into it. How long I dated them.
In 30 seconds or less.
Which one of my friends are you trying to get with? Because if I...
Well, no. I think this is more so the friend...
Yeah, dating somebody's ex.
Like your friend wants to date your ex-boyfriend.
Ooh, let her have it then. Let her learn.
I was about to say, first of all my friends know what a trash bag my ex is, so if you
let her
really
have
want that...
Trash bags can change.
Or have that good
No, I'm giving you the scenario. If trash bag changed
then they have that
and
good
became a glad bag,
but he didn't have that
or a
good
prevert.
Trash D too?
So then a friend, let's say a best friend.
Oh, you can't have my best friend. You can have one of my other friends,
but not the best friend.
My best friend I have.
But
known since I was 12.
You keep putting it on the man. Your best friend wants your ex.
My best friend wants my ex.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be best friends.
Right,
I wish y'all the best. I wish y'all the best, and I wouldn't harbor in no ill will. Like if y'all want to go at it and get married, like if y'all have a good time. But for me personally, like my best friend, because I don't have I don't have short relationships, so all of my relationships have been like over a long period of time. Yeah. So this was someone that I was really intimate with. Like we got deep on a deep level. Like my shortest relationship was like a year. So. But do you want any of those exes? No.
Then why does it matter?
But it would make sense that your best friend would date your ex, being that your ex dated you, and they had the same kind of personality traits.
But that to me is like really weird.
Why?
Right? Like, yeah.
No, I mean, why? No,
you're
giving me descriptive terms, but why?
Because I done already complained to you about everything that's wrong with this person, and like you done heard me, like God forbid I cried on your shoulder, like things that happened, like you've been there with me through thick and thin, and you want like him of all people? Like if I
feel like it's a moral thing. For a lot of people, it's like more so of a moral code that it's just one of those things that you don't do. But for me, I guess it depends on what the factors were, because sometimes certain people in my life, like exes, I might feel some type of way emotionally having to watch them be together in my face. True. And it didn't work out between me and that person.
So that's saying that you had feelings for them still.
Yeah, and I might be jealous. And I don't want to see that being thrown in my face every day that this is working out for them. That would be upsetting and it would hurt me. But if it wasn't that kind of situation, then by all means, you do what you feel
like
is
if it was somebody who, like if we ended badly and I didn't care about them, like y'all go ahead and do what you like y'all go ahead and have fun. But if it was somebody like who, like if you wanted to date my son's dad, like in this situation actually happened to me where he was like, "Can I ask out your best friend?" Like I said, my best friend I've known since I was 12. I laughed him out of my house. I was like, "Yeah, you go ahead and ask her. You're right." And he did. She turned him down. And at first, no, she didn't. She told me. She didn't. She told me.
Mandy, that look. Well, go ahead. I'm joking. I don't know.
No, so I laughed him out of my house because I was like, "You try." He asked her, she turned him down, and I wasn't mad at her, but later I was mad at him because I was like, "These hoes really not loyal."
Wait a minute, Mandy, how do you feel about it?
I think that like every person and every relationship is different, so there's no one right answer. Period. You have to, and I honestly believe in communication, and like, cause I overshare, and I'm like the truth all the way through. So if you can't communicate those things and you're hiding stuff, you're doing something wrong. And if you communicate and it did end a good way, then maybe it can be a beautiful thing and good for them. And if you love them and they love you, you want them to be loved. And and do what you gotta do, but communicate and respect your friends by communicating.
I put it like this. Hassan says, I wouldn't date my friend's ex-girlfriend.
Right. I wouldn't.
Steve said, listen, it depends on how things work between others than you and your ex. I'll give my answer.
Yeah.
I am a firm believer in if we're not together, I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
My friends.
Didn't you steal my wife? Just kidding.
First off, that's a whole nother conversation.
All right. So.
No, she ain't cutting me.
Don't make me have her call in.
No, I don't want no problem. I can hear
She'll be like,
the
blood clot. What you doing?
I'm a firm believer in, look, if we're not engaged actively at this moment in a relationship, and even if it's my best friend, because my thing is, what I complained about might not be his issue. If I say, oh, this person chews with their mouth open, or they snore, or they don't do this, or they didn't touch me enough, or they didn't talk to me, they might like that. Yeah. So when to say, oh, for me, I can't say, oh, I complained about this person. Why would you want them? That might be their bag. As a matter of fact, while I was complaining, they was probably like, that ain't so bad after all.
She means she does it every night.
Yeah, wait. What do you mean? Wait, she burns the chicken? I love burnt chicken.
I'm done with you. You said
some people like a little charcoal on their chicken.
No.
All I'm saying is, for the person who answered the question, as you kind of gotten from the panel, varying opinions. But
yeah, anybody but my best friend. Like my best friend is no, but you can date any one of my other friends.
So note to self for Tough, do not her best friend of age 12 is all
like my best friend. No.
But yeah, no, because to me, people, I try not to mentally possess any human beings, whether they be my best friend or somebody that I am intimate with.
And that is the right answer. I mean, like I said, if you knew yourself to your core, like. Even now, like I'm out in the dating world again, and I get like these anxieties and these like abandonment triggers and stuff. I'm actively training myself so that nothing shakes me.
Right.
What you do does not shake me.
And that's my thing. Not
and
giving
I want to
power
walk
to
the world
people.
that way.
I don't like giving people any form of power over my emotions and feelings.
Control your damn self.
So you should probably just make sure that you talk to your friend, your whoever this is, and make sure that you get a clear understanding of how they felt and what terms they ended on, so that you don't possibly end your friendship depending upon how they. Or if you're willing to do that,
I was about to say if a friendship ends over an ex, it wasn't that strong.
And if you can communicate, you know what I mean.
And you should communicate with each other.
Yeah, I don't believe any friendship should end over a piece of ass.
No.
But and genuinely. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
Probably handles things different. And don't get it twisted, there is a code.
Yeah, because
I would do that.
There are people in my life that I probably would just be like, no, why would you do that to me? Because you knew I felt that way about that person.
But then you have to admit, I still have. See now,
exactly.
now I'm a firm believer in
if
me and Sassy are friends, and she wants to take my girlfriend, I'm gonna. If Sassy was like,
I don't care.
I know. Sassy was like, wait a minute, I'm just using it. But if Sassy says, hey, yo, do you still feel some type of way? And I'm like, no. Yeah. But if I'm like, no, I still have feelings for that person. Or if I say, no, I don't have feelings for that person, and she goes, and then I'm getting angry, then I have to have that conversation with myself. Like, okay, I thought I didn't, but seeing y'all happy and giddy and whatnot, and you enjoying burnt chicken is pissing me off.
Yeah, and then you start sabotaging.
Because you should have said something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So listen, y'all. By all means, keep the questions rolling in. We'll take the best questions. We had a bunch of questions that we answered out. Some will respond right back through text message. But for right now, we taking some of the best questions and we're going to bring them and say them live on the show. We're about to wrap it up. And before we get out of here, Tef, do you want to give anything? You got anything else to say before we roll?
Please come see me two Saturdays from now at the Klein Life Center for the PSO, that's the Pole Sport Organization Liberty Competition, Saturday, June 29th. Come see me. Well, I'm so excited. I ordered my costume.
I'm trying to remember what was Don's stripper name. What was it? Don, what was your stripper name again?
Cinnamon Thunder.
What is it? Cinnamon Toast? Yeah, Cinnamon Thunder.
Sounds cute.
Cinnamon Thunder.
Cinnamon Thunder.
Cinnamon Thunder. Oh, now I can't call him anything else.
No, yeah. Don don't mind. Mandy, one more time, everybody can find you by just Googling either Mandyland or Mandyland.com.
Just go to Mandyland.com. I'm tired of being kicked off all y'all's platforms. I'm just gonna buckle down and do my stuff, and then just update my own websites. But yeah, Mandyland.com. Support that.
And how can anybody support your art as far as financially?
I don't know yet.
We'll let you know as soon as we figure it out.
Mandy does run an Airbnb currently in Philadelphia.
I do. You can stay with me.
Yeah, if you're an
and
artist.
See my tits live.
Google just went crazy. It was like Mandyland.
Yeah, Airbnb in Philadelphia. You won't find there's links on the thing, or if you even go to.
Never see anything like Mandyland.
Yeah, if you go to Mandyland Philly, I usually leave the link there.
Yep. And hopefully, if you get there, you get to meet Mr. Mandy.
Don't
you talk about it. Don't you say a word.
Hey, if you're gonna have a
listen, let them be surprised.
Let them see
when they get booked. Sassy, you got anything to say before we get out of here?
Yes, I do. Come follow me at Cosplay with Sassy Neko, and if you can, let me know how you feel about if I had a Patreon page. Would you actually support it? Because that might be something that I could do for you in the future if y'all have fans who are willing to support
that glistening lips.
Semi-lewd things that allude to other ideas. It'll be small, but just let me know, because I don't like working, and that would be really helpful.
Sassy just asked for a sugar daddy. If you wasn't aware, you just need to funnel your money through Patreon, and she'll send you pics of soup coolers that aren't Googled. Don't believe those on her lips.
I'm just saying, if it's anybody willing to pay, I will get a
telling you, there's a niche for everything.
I'll step on things with my feet if that's what you want to see.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
If
you pay us.
And if you're paying Sassy, I am definitely taking donations to either take my clothes off or put them back on. Whichever one. Whatever one disturbs you the most.
We should do a poll.
You know what? I'm not doing it. Listen.
I actually take put in.
Just for me, I just want to say we get ready to get up out of here. Remember, National Black Men Don't Cheat. Big ups to Donna Magic Wand on the ones and twos. Ladies, thank you so much for being the wonderful, wonderful host that you are. And we're getting ready to roll up out of here. Remember, keep it locked here. Wednesdays, 8 to whenever, apparently. And we got some great content coming down the pipe a little bit later on. New shows will be debuting. Thanks to Mixed Media Revolution for setting everything up and getting us situated, a new platform that we are featuring content creators and artists and creators and the like. So if you have a show idea, if you have a podcast idea, or if you have art that you want to start facilitating and bringing to the forefront, definitely holler at our Mixed Media Revolution page. Give us your pitch, and we might be able to work something out because
support the arts. Seriously.
It's literally a platform for creators by creators. So much love to everybody out there for staying tuned in and locked, and we will see you next week.
Okay, bye. Hey, let's go to McDonald's. Come on, man. Be a goof, McDonald's.